I brought my friends Lojo and Frank Sebastiano and Artie Lange, my buddy that I did this movie with.
Is that the guy who got fired from Mad TV?
Yeah, man, he got fired from Mad TV.
Yeah.
This is the coolest story.
What did he? Where is he? Bring him in too.
He's a good guy, man.
Come on in here.
Funniest story.
What's this guy's name? Artie.
Artie. Yeah.
Artie. Yeah.
So me and Artie, we did this movie in the summer, and Chris Farley and.
Chris Farley's in the movie?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, man, this guy Artie's crazy. Hey, that's not.
That's Artie?
Hey, there's Artie.
Hey, Artie. Hey, man, you got fired from Mad TV? Good. You could go with Norm. He got fired from SNL, so you got something to talk about.
Club.
No wonder you guys are hanging around with each other. Two guys who got fired from prominent television shows. What'd you get fired for? Yeah, maybe Mad TV isn't prominent.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be a
He did the funniest thing on Mad TV. He did this character, that's my... What the hell was it?
That's my white mama.
He played an old black woman.
Oh, really?
I play a black mother.
So why did you get fired if you're so funny?
It's a long story. Norm tells it really well.
You're a heavy set guy?
I can tell it fast.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So he goes, he's like, oh, problems, right? So he goes to that Quincy Martin dude, you know?
Who's Quincy Martin?
What's his name?
Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones, right.
Martin.
The black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Q.
Who's a cool dude.
Right.
Very cool.
Yeah. So Quincy Jones, right? He's the head of the Mad TV show.
Yeah.
So he goes, hey, I'm going to bring all you dudes out to Vegas to see the Tyson fight.
Right.
So they all go out, you know, to see it. And then Artie turns out like he's a crazy, compulsive gambler. Me and Artie.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Me and Artie used to have gambling.
You have a gambling problem, Artie?
He still does.
Yeah.
I
You
finished.
kicked yours.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What
if I
did you
have a
bet on?
gambling
What?
problem.
What did you bet on?
Sports.
Really?
Yeah. So
How much money would you go through?
I lost everything.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You?
So
I don't see you as like a sports kind of guy.
What?
I don't know anything
No,
about
he's very
sports.
good. You're
Is
very
he?
good at picking the games.
Yeah, not when he puts money on him.
No,
He's a mush.
he gives me a lot of good tips.
How much money would you say you lost gambling?
I lost everything.
I know an exact number. Though.
Go ahead, give it. What's the exact number? Go ahead, Artie.
That's $2,000.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Couple $100,000?
Yeah.
Was this money that you earned on Saturday Night Live?
What?
Was this money you earned on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
Is
What?
this what cured you, losing a whole bundle?
Yeah, I just, I didn't have any more money. So,
Wow.
So this dude.
I didn't know that about you. No wonder Don Ohlmeyer hates you. I'm with Don Ohlmeyer. Who needs a compulsive gambler
Yeah, around the set.
who urinates in bottles?
And plays football in the hall.
Right. And won't get along with the rest of the cast.
So this dude, Quincy Martin, takes him to.
Quincy Jones.
I'm sorry, Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones had nothing to do with this.
No, he didn't.
Right.
So he takes. He says, hey, I'm going to take the cast of the Mad TV, man.
Oh.
Is that how Quincy Jones talks?
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly. That's it. You know, you do good impressions.
Well,
Yeah, you can do that on the.
Ah, man, you jive. Turkeys, we're going down to I went to the black dude.
Go down
Dead
to
on, man.
the Tyson fight.
Yeah, so they go to the Tyson fight, right?
Right.
Then this dude,
Artie.
Artie bets like more money than he has.
How much did you bet?
I bet like $15,000.
Okay.
Right? So then, of course, Tyson loses. So then he goes crazy. He doesn't know what to do. He's trying to get his money back, so he goes to the casino, loses a bunch of money in the casino.
How much did you lose in the casino?
Like another $5,000.
Okay, then you done 20.
This sent you on a tear.
Yeah.
He just went into a spiral. Then he does a bunch of coke and beats up his manager.
Really?
And gets thrown in jail.
Really?
And then when he gets thrown in jail, some dude...
How come fat guys are all doing coke and they're still fat? I thought you get thin from doing coke.
Well, actually, I haven't done coke in like 8 months.
What, you go to rehab?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? What, do you just hang around with like Chris Farley and this guy? I mean, it's like all fat guys that do coke?
Really
Weren't we going to call Don Ohlmeyer? Wasn't I going to
That was the idea.
So then he gets fired from the show.
Right.
He doesn't have any money. And
Because he did the gambling and he got
thrown
arrested
in jail.
for beating up that guy?
Yeah. So then he has to go back.
I didn't beat anybody up.
Oh, okay.
I didn't beat anyone.
All right.
So then he has to go back to New Jersey and become a cab driver.
Is that right? You're a cab driver now?
No.
That's sad.
I make a good living in
No,
show
now,
business.
now he came back.
Did you go to rehab?
Well, Norm, yeah, I went
Did you
to
clean
rehab.
toilets and the whole thing?
No, I never cleaned.
When's the last time you did? So you had a big coke problem?
Not a big coke problem. Like, I never did it every day, but like once a month you couldn't find me for like 4 days. And it always ended bad, like with like naked in the cop car. And I went to like LA County Jail for like 4 days.
I love out of control guys.
There he is.
Yeah. I love out of control
I hated
guys.
L.A. I mean, Man TV treated me really well. They were nice.
They were good to you, Quincy
They
Jones.
gave me a break. Quincy Jones, like the best guy in the world.
Okay.
But I had a lot of problems.
Right.
And I was like really depressed out.
What were your problems? You gambled, and you were on coke.
Gambling, a lot of booze.
And coke.
Yeah.
Right.
Every once in a while, like I said, like once a month, I would say, oh, I'm going to do cocaine, and I just would, it would end up bad.
Yeah.
It never ended up good.
Right.
And the last time it ended up bad was in front of
Quincy Jones.
I can handle it.
No, but I was in front of, I got arrested at like 11 o'clock in the morning. I was up for like 3 days.
Right.
In front of the studio where we shot the show for possession of coke.
All right, so who caught you with the coke?
When he goes to jail, right?
Yeah.
Because you know how they raped you?
Yeah? You got raped?
No, he didn't he didn't get raped, but they put a special thing on you, like if you're either a snitch or a celebrity.
Right.
In L.A. County Jail, they put a red band on you, and that means one of three things. Either you're a celebrity, you're a snitch, or you're a murderer. So that means they separate you from the other
So they don't figure
So now they're playing a game trying to figure out what you are.
Yeah, well,
So
no
they
one
figure-
knows me.
Right. You're either a snitch or a murderer.
Exactly.
Right.
So this Puerto Rican kid comes out to me and says, "Yo, man, what's up?"
Ah. So the Puerto Rican guy comes up to you and it's a red band.
He goes, "Yo, man, what's that red band all about, man?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, no, I don't know. They just put it on me." At that point, I didn't know.
Right.
He goes, "What? Were you a snitch?"
Oh.
And this is like on the bus where they're transporting me from where I like detox.
Yeah. Because you don't look like a murderer and you don't look like a celebrity.
Right. Well, he goes. I couldn't be a celebrity. I mean, I'm on like a Fox late night show.
You don't look like you murdered anybody.
Gee, the cops, the only ones that recognize you as a celebrity are the cops, and they put a red band on you.
The worst part is all the guards. They have these real bad attitudes, the guards.
Right.
And they saw the red band on me.
Right.
And the one guy doesn't know why I have a red band on, so he asked one of the people who like checked me in.
Yeah.
Checked my ass for contraband.
Right.
Oh, wow. You had a whole search and everything?
Oh, it was bad. I was standing like next to all these like black guys naked to get my ass checked. That doesn't do much for your self-esteem.
No.
So,
and they really check you thoroughly, right?
Yeah, they check you.
With a glove.
Yeah, they check you with a glove.
Wow.
Yeah, the glove.
I can't say that. Come on, man. You kidding me.
Don Ohlmeyer was right.
Yeah, you're out of control.
Norm is completely out of control.
Yeah, Norm should be fired. And anything Norm says about Don Ohlmeyer, I don't know that to be true at all.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
But no, so the guy says, why has he got a red band on? The woman whispered into his. I'm handcuffed now to these gang members.
Okay.
Before you get your cell assignment.
Right.
And the guy says to me, he goes, why has he got a red band on? And the chick says to him, why? Like, I'm on Mad TV. And he just screams out, he goes, that's why?
How humiliating. I'd rather just be strip searched.
You don't even deserve a red band.
Some 20-year-old Mexican kid recognizes me from the show.
Yeah.
And starts yelling, yo, man, Mad TV, white mama, Mad TV. And that was like the most humiliating thing, because then everybody like...
Then you're explaining who you are.
Yeah, and then they're like, why are you famous? And I'm like,
how do you get caught with this coke, though? I mean, I don't understand how you got arrested.
Right in front of the building where you work.
I was completely out of control. I lost all my money gambling in Vegas.
So how does the cop find you with coke on you? Where were you?
Well, I showed up.
You beat up your manager.
Well, I'll get to that.
You showed up where?
What happened to calling Don Ohlmeyer?
And you're more interesting.
Oh, okay.
And we'll never get through to Don Ohlmeyer anyway. It's a good idea, but if he gets on the phone, which is no chance in hell.
No, I went to the studio and I was clearly messed up. And the day before, they had a meeting with me and said, look, like you got the same clothes on for like 3 days.
Right.
And that week, like
smell.
Harry Connick Jr. was hosting the show that week.
Yeah, and he's a Christian.
Yeah, and I don't know, and everyone was all like excited about Harry Connick Jr. hosting the show, like he's funny or something.
Doesn't he bring guns to airports, Harry Connick Jr.? Yeah, he's out of control too. Yeah.
I don't know. So I only had like 5 lines in the whole show.
Right.
And I figured, hey man, I got like the week off, so I'm just gonna go a little crazy. And
yeah, they didn't say anything about my week off.
And I was, like I said, I was just nuts. And I showed up the day after they had this meeting saying, look, if you don't clean up, we're gonna have to go away.
Right.
So I went out, got more coke, and just stayed up all night. And then I showed up, and they had people there waiting for me. you know.
Who was waiting for you?
Like a couple of my agents and stuff.
Oh, to have a confrontation. Hey, what do they call that, Robin? When you
intervening,
intervention. Yeah.
So,
I've never had one of those.
I was all paranoid.
Yeah. Right.
Because I had done like an enormous amount of drugs.
How much drugs had you done? You know that a gram of coke now costs $35?
That's what I heard, but I wouldn't know what that meant.
It used to cost like $100. It's gotten less expensive.
Yeah, but there's a lot. It's a lot of it isn't that great.
Well, you would know.
No, I would not know.
Yes, you would.
All right, I guess I would.
No one knows more than you. Chris Farley knew more than you, but he's gone.
Yeah.
So you're the expert now. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm glad to have that role.
Yeah, you stepped right up.
Congratulations.
The funny thing is, like, he always pretends, I don't do coke anymore.
Right.
But then, like, after, because, like, he was like, I want to, no, I didn't do it.
Right.
But I want him to do this movie that I was in, I did this movie. So they said, I don't know, man, because he's,
There's a cokehead.
He's got a reputation even, huh?
Yeah, right?
But you haven't done coke in 8 months, right?
No, 8 months, nothing.
Really?
No booze, no coke.
Good for you. Yeah, you look
So I go, no, man.
No coke.
I go, man, he's cleaned up, he doesn't do coke anymore like that or nothing like that, right?
All right.
So then that night, like after I hire him,
Right.
like to be in the movie,
Yeah, to celebrate.
yeah, we go shoot pool at this place.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
So we're shooting pool, right?
Right.
And then I start noticing, like, because there's a lot of Mexicans around,
Right.
and so there's this,
That's something I would notice.
so there's this one Mexican, and he's like kind of making faces at the Mexican, right?
Right.
And the Mexican's like they're making these like faces at each other, like,
Right.
and so he comes over, he's like, take care of me or something like that, and
Really?
all this weird stuff.
Complete lies.
And then all of a sudden I said, I figured it all out,
Right.
Yeah, and then he still hires me.
Right.
He's a good man, man.
Who, Norm?
Yeah.
Really?
Because Norm doesn't care. Norm thinks you're just having a good time.
No, you see,
Don Olmeyer doesn't think he's funny.
I was done. I was out of show business. I was,
Right.
Norm pulled me back.
Yeah. Good
You
for
were
you.
driving a cab.
I was going to go. I drove a cab before I got on Mad TV, and then I was making I was Fox.
You're making mad money.
I was making like $12 an
Wow.
hour.
Wow. All right, so you went a little while, but now you got it under control.
I'm fine now. I
Right.
never felt better in my life.
Chris Farley told me that. Just right before he died. So, no, you're fine now. You got it under
fine
control.
now. Norm put me in this movie. This movie's really funny.
When's that movie coming out, Norm?
What?
The movie's not funny? Oh, Norm says the movie's not funny.
Funny, Jesus. Oh my God.
Movie's not that funny, Norm.
So March the 27th.
Well, Don Olmeyer's going to review it. So wait a second. You're telling me that thanks to Norm, you're back in show business.
Thanks to Norm, I am sitting
And during the
on
intervention, you
house.
beat up your manager.
No, no.
That intervention didn't go well.
My manager, again, was just trying to take care of me, and I was just not.
Are you still with him, or
No, actually.
He figured maybe you're too much trouble.
We had a parting of the way.
All right.
And, which was all my fault. But
Right. You sound reasonable now.
Yeah, I had like.
Do you think this will ever happen to you again?
No, absolutely not.
No,
This
no.
is not, unless something goes wrong.
Right.
But,
Well, you need an outlet.
unless I'm faced with some sort of reality.
Right.
Unless, yeah.
All right.
I mean, is the gambling taken care of?
Oh, I haven't placed a bet in a long time.
All right. Norm Macdonald is here to say he is funny.
Yeah, I just want to say,
And-
any executive to say Norm's not funny is
Crazy.
crazy.
It is crazy.
Come on,
I know
man.
funny, and Norm's funny.
Funniest guy ever.
Right. Norm, well, not the funniest guy ever.
Except
Very funny guy, though.
Very funny.
Very
All the
extremely
other funny guys are dead or something.
Yeah, Chris
That's
Farley,
That's right.
Kinnison, those guys are the
No,
funniest.
Norm is great, and I can't believe it. I'm sorry to hear that you're not going to be with Saturday Night Live anymore.
No, I'm going to be over there.
He's going to be doing sketches. He's going to be catching Monkey Boy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You'll be the scientist who discovered Monkey Boy. Hello?
All right, so I said before the commercial that there was weird DNA stuff going on.
Yes.
We took DNA swabs of everyone on the show. It was great.
You wouldn't be swamped, huh?
No, I don't want to know anything.
You could have been finding out something funny about you.
Maybe I will be swabbed now that we found out this.
See, now it's going to take weeks to know.
So what? What else have we got to do?
Because we did that, I don't know, it was about a month ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. So anyway, we did swabs. Some people, the swab didn't work.
Really?
Yeah,
Who didn't it work on?
When I say it didn't work, it was just inconclusive. Like, we didn't really... They probably need to do it again for those people.
Well, who are those people?
Well, who were the 3 people that didn't work out? I know Benji was one of them.
John and Scott DePace.
And Scott DePace, right?
So they're off the hook.
They're off the hook.
It's not about them.
Right? It was John, Scott DePace, and Benji had... What do they call that? Like a weird result?
Right, they have to pass a series of tests. He didn't explain exactly how the tests work, but if they don't, then they can't come to conclusive results.
All right. I'm the only one who actually knows the results, me and Will.
Uh-huh.
And, because Will said to me, there's only one funny thing that came out of it. And I said, you know, let me see it. Because I was going to be surprised, too, on there. I said, but let me see what this one funny thing is.
All right.
And I looked at...
saw it.
I saw it, and I went, oh, my God, it's weird. And I'm going to tell you, and then you got to think about it.
All right.
Now, Robin, who do you think it's about? Who are the remaining people that took the test that it worked on, Will? It was Robin,
Fred,
Baba Booey,
Artie,
and Casey.
So who do I think it's about?
Yeah, and what do you think it is? Take a guess. What's going through your head?
You know, Gary seems to be suspicious for some reason. He seems to think it's him, so I'm thinking it's him.
What do you think it is?
And I think it has to do with his ethnicity.
I'm half Sicilian, and I'm thinking it's a very short boat ride to North Africa.
I think I'm Puerto Rican.
No, so, Robin, you think it's that he's black?
Yeah, that's not it.
And you said that for years, by the way. That you think
what do you think? Is that what you think it is,
I
Gary?
think it's me, and that I'm blacker, or something like I'm black or something.
Casey, what do you think it is?
I think that Fred's like related to like Mussolini or something.
Yeah,
it's like a genius or something.
That's pretty specific.
Mussolini was no genius.
No, I mean like like Freud or something.
Freud? Yeah, Fred is related to Freud, Mussolini?
Either Mussolini or Freud.
Fred, what do you think it is?
I think it's got something to do with Artie. I don't know why.
Why Artie?
Like he just maybe Lincoln or something. He's related
to Lincoln. Now, Artie, what do you think it is? For real, no joke.
You know, no joke. The way you said, this person is defined and he's like a definite type of person. You're going to tell me like my great-grandfather was gay or something.
But he said it could mean money, so maybe somebody's related to somebody rich.
No, that's it. But can it tell that if you're related to a specific family? Because
no, it can't.
I mean, that's what everybody's throwing me off here with this.
What if I told you that Fred's DNA is not human?
He's
a Martian.
That. I would believe
and that he really is.
He really, truly is a Martian.
What if I told you Artie was my son?
Well, that's a little fun.
Well, that would mean money. Get ready, pal. What are we doing this weekend, Dad?
First, I'm going to tell you who it's about.
All right.
Is it Robin? Is it Gary? Is it gay KC? Actually, we scraped, from the mouth.
Yes.
And we found 2 strange men's DNA in Casey's mouth. That's not what I'm talking about.
That was a problem. They found more than one person's DNA in his mouth.
Is it Fred? Is it Artie? It is Artie.
Artie.
Okay, off the hook.
Artie, you're off the hook.
Now, what's Artie on the hook for?
Everybody else was kind of what we suspected they were or whatever. Nothing really new to report.
Artie's blushing.
Come, stand up, Artie. I got to look at you.
Artie's red.
I got some color. I got some color in the Yankee game.
You immediately blushed.
Artie, you just turned red.
Yeah.
And you know something?
I better be related to
This is really weird. When I learned this, I was looking at you and going, I kind of get it, but this is going to change your whole thought about yourself and your whole identity because you're such an Italian.
But is he Puerto Rican? No.
Middle Eastern?
No. He turned red for a reason.
Why?
He is...
Indian?
25% Native American.
Wow. Really?
Yes, Native American, Indian.
Artie is going to own a casino.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm thinking.
I can get my money back from the Mohegan Sun?
You own the Mohegan Sun.
Anybody who's 25% Native American.
Really? Is it 25%?
What does that mean? Like, you mean you're right?
Well, I'm just thinking, if you find out what tribe you're with, you're entitled to that casino money.
And if they haven't started one, you can get with that group of people and start one.
No wonder you're so bad on firewater.
Your genetics and these DNA tests are conclusive. You are...
Who's the Indian?
Was he over 20? He was 25% at least.
They said 25% was a significant enough amount for somebody.
To be considered like I'm an Indian.
You're an Indian.
Yeah.
Wow. And look at him now.
He got red. He did.
He looks Indian, though, does he? I mean, he looks like a...
How you doing?
Hey, remember all those slurs you were making against the Indians when we were going up to the casino, Mohegan Sun?
I never made
Those
one
are your
slur.
people.
I never made one slur.
You self-hating Indian.
I might have went
went woo-woo when I rolled
Yeah, he went woo-woo and me want wampum.
Hey,
well, that's true.
I'll start the one casino where the house loses.
You're 25% Native American.
I think that's really exciting. That's like a bang Daryl Hannah.
Yeah.
Who is the Native American in your family?
Do you have any idea?
Okay, here's the thing. It can't be on my mother's side because that side I know a lot about almost a village in Naples where we're from. My father's side, there's a lot of gray areas. My father's father died when my father was 11, and he didn't know much about him either.
Right.
And
he could have been an Indian.
He could have been an Indian.
I know my old man's father grew up in Hell's Kitchen in New York, and that's really all they know about the family. I don't know my cousins on that side. It's really...
Yeah, well, you're 25% Native American, which entitles you somehow to some money with all those tribes.
Well, it depends on what tribe. His tribe will probably not own it.
Howard, you realize Artie could be Crazy Horse the Third?
In fact, Artie's tribe probably sold Manhattan for the bees.
My Indian name is Loses on Horses.
Doesn't it make sense that he can't handle alcohol?
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. The firewater thing makes total sense.
But to
be on firewater.
But to be 25%, doesn't that mean that like one of his grandparents had to be full
But that's
Indian?
what we're saying. His grandfather, that his father didn't know, probably was an Indian.
My name is Dances with Jack Daniels.
One of my great grandmothers had an affair with like Sitting Bull or something.
Well, let me tell you something, man.
This is exciting news to me.
It is.
Why don't we call your mother and tell her that, you know, she has a little Indian?
Somebody get me a feather.
No wonder he can't pronounce Italian words.
Right.
It's not Via Del.
Is this like a
That's definite.
They were for sure.
For sure, 100%, right?
Correct.
So what do I do? Call a senator?
I don't know what you do. We got to look into this and how we are going to make money off
it. Dude, I'm fire every representative I have.
We now have
the Howard Stern agency.
We have to get you in touch with that Mormon group that keeps all the records of everybody's lineage.
Yeah, Hiawatha.
How about the fact, I mean...
Pocahontas.
Yeah.
You know, all the networks said that they want sitcoms to be multicultural and stuff. I'm like, put an American Indian on TV.
It's you.
Do you feel like, wow, my people really got screwed? And do you feel like you're now an American Indian representative?
Knowing my business sense, it makes sense that we sold Manhattan for $24.
No, but I'm serious. Like, now you're going to want to defend your people and everything.
I'm starting to feel very sort of...
Let's play him some of his music. Get him inculcated.
But Howard,
do you feel the Cowboys and the United States government is responsible for wiping out your people?
You know what's weird about this?
Yeah.
When I watch, like, old John Wayne movies, I always root for the Cowboys.
You do? I thought the Indians.
No, I always...
He's a self-hating Indian.
Yeah, I always wanted John Wayne. I go, shoot him up, man. And like, in the F Troop, I hated those two Indians always ripped off Agarn, and I hated them for it.
Those are your relatives, dude.
I love them now.
It's unbelievable.
But
I mean,
are you going to go to Wounded Knee now and cry, or what are you going to do?
I'm going to rent Dances with Wolves.
Dominic Barber, you're on the air.
Artie, you have no idea how rich you and I are going to be.
This is great.
25%.
I just had an ice cream cone. I'm so excited.
That is substantial. It's not like they found 2% Indian.
I'm a quarter Indian.
Yeah, and that's like...
He has rights.
He does.
How much Indian do you have to be to have rights?
25% or more.
Artie could move to a reservation.
Yeah.
What's 20? Have to. You don't have to live on the reservation. If you're part of the tribe, I'll give you an example. They found people up in Connecticut for the casinos that hadn't even known they were Indian, and they were getting an average of $700,000 a year.
That's true.
Are you kidding, Artie? Want to get married?
That is true.
Oh, my God.
That is really true. That there are people who are, like, questionable, you know, they're making claims.
And you got 25%.
Yeah.
With less than Artie.
You got major claim to make.
How am I going to cut my sister out of
Let's
this?
find your tribe, my friend.
Wow.
Is your sister a full sister?
You know, this is for real, because ever since I learned this about Artie, there's a tribe in California that only 8 people belong to, and they have a casino.
Oh, yeah.
And they make a fortune.
Oh, yeah. I know about that tribe.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be great. I could stop doing the road.
You realize you could build a casino in your apartment?
So can I legally have like a crab stable?
No, here's what you could have.
You can't declare your apartment a reservation.
You have to find out what tribe you're from, and then you're entitled to the proceeds from the casino they build.
If they build.
I know for a fact, I've read articles where people have made claims who are 1/16% Indian.
Yeah.
And you're a quarter.
You're a quarter Indian. You're almost full Cherokee.
Man.
And you know where it could have come from, Artie? There were a lot of Indians that came to America to build the skyscrapers. Came to New York, I mean.
Right.
And they would live in Hell's Kitchen and go to work and climb on top of the buildings.
My father's father was from Hell's Kitchen. I know that for
Look at him. Look at him. Doesn't he look kind of Indian?
I see it.
I do. I swear I do.
I used to think of him as that's an Italian look. But now I see that you got some Indian.
Look, I got some color at the Yankee game. I look all Indian.
You turn all red. Christina, you're on the air.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My husband is a Native American Indian, and first you got to prove that you're part of the tribe. You have to register with the tribe, and then you have to pay dues to the tribe.
Well, he has an excuse. He didn't know he was Indian.
And I know he doesn't know that he was Indian, but he still has to find out the tribe he's from.
He's
he has to register and prove his bloodline.
We're going to find out.
That's what we're going to do.
He's Native American.
We'll start working on it when in the office.
That would be great.
We'll get all the work.
In back dues, I owe $25,000.
Yeah, I mean, my husband gets fined for not going and digging trenches every year. He gets fined for not going back out to the reservation. You got to do a lot of different things, and they hate white people.
We're going to do... Well, we hate white people, too, so it's fine.
Artie always hated white people.
I'm starting to hate white people.
Part of that tribe.
Artie hates white people. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, Howard, I was wondering, what's Artie's real name? What kind of Indian name? Maybe Can't Win a Bet?
No, I Can't Win a Bet. Dances with Jack Daniels.
Yeah, Can't Win a Bet is my middle name.
Cochise.
Artie, do you remember any of the things you said at the crowd saver?
Michelangelo, you're on the air.
Hey, Howard, how you doing? Yeah, Artie, talk to Dominic, do your homework, because, I mean, all this time you were entitled to a free education.
That's right.
And everything, so talk to Dominic and do all the homework you can, because you probably got a windfall coming your way.
Well, government owes you money.
A free education?
Free education.
I can get my money back for the Connecticut School of Broadcasting?
That's right.
Howard, are you...
Sitting meatball.
So this means his sister is a quarter Indian, too?
Yes, that's true.
Are you interested in any of the other results?
Do we have any other results?
There are other results. That was just the best one.
Yeah, Robin, I forgot to mention you're part Chinese.
Oh, thanks.
I'm going to get off the air. However,
Dominic.
Jackie is definitely going to kill himself.
All right.
Dominic, get to work on this, man. I want to...
Your sister's a squaw.
This is actually exciting news today.
Yeah, I know you're in shock, so calm down.
I am in
You
shock.
could give Artie 2 cows, and he would have to give you his sister.
What else? What else you got there? Anything?
The other ones were Robin was 84% African.
Yeah.
84%?
So what was the rest? Indian, I bet.
I didn't get the whole details of everything else. They just went with some of the interesting things. Fred was 95% European, 5% Native American. Gary was 4% East Asian.
Really? 4% East Asian?
What the hell is that?
Your eyes are a little slanted.
What's East Asian? What,
I don't know.
Japanese?
And Casey was 100% European.
Wait a minute, I'm only 84% African?
I told you weren't black.
They said that was typical in, like, American.
Well, that means somewhere you got white
I
blood
want to
in
know
you.
what the rest of it is.
You have white features and lightish kind of skin. Somebody lightened you up.
Yeah, but who?
Yeah. Hey, Gary does love sushi and sake. God knows he drinks sake at the drinking show. You can see a lot of these traits.
Asian
Howard,
comes out.
I think I got to do this.
Where on earth could there be East Asian in my background?
I don't know.
I mean, everybody's from Italy.
I don't know. Ho Chi Bui.
Marco Polo went over to...
Marco Bui.
That's a shocker.
Yeah. Well, I think Artie being an Indian is a shocker.
25%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, I qualify for affirmative action, all that stuff, right?
Everything. You're an Indian. You're an American
You are
Indian.
a minority, a very small minority.
Oh, God. Thank God I've always been nice to minorities.
Oh, yeah, we've seen that.
I have been.
Hey, some guy sent me an email about you, Artie, that, like, he said that in high school you and some chick went to a bank and pretended to rob it.
Yeah.
Is that true?
That's true. I got arrested for attempted bank robbery. Me and my girlfriend at the time. And
I thought this was a goof.
No. This was like...
You were a mess.
Yeah, a bit of a mess. I think I might have told this on the air.
Yeah.
Early on, when I first came on the show, I think I told.
Yeah, I didn't think I believed this. This is what the guy wrote. You and your girlfriend.
Right.
Thought it would be funny to go up to a bank teller and hand them a note.
I did. My girlfriend was in the bank, and she had an account at the bank. We were like 17. I didn't even...
Right.
And on the back, my girlfriend was doing her business with another teller, and one of the other tellers was this chick who was kind of cute, and I was like looking at her, and to like flirt with her, I wrote on the back of a deposit slip a fake hold-up note, thinking she'd think it was funny.
What'd you write?
I wrote, I have a gun.
Fake? What's fake about that?
I wrote, I have a gun, put $50,000 into a bag. I remember it verbatim because a judge read it back to me 85 times in a courtroom. Put $50,000 into a bag, turn around, count to 1,000, act casual.
Holy mackerel.
And then I signed my name, Artie Lange.
Right.
And I figured when she saw that, she'd think it was a joke. So I go up to her, I hand it to her. She turns like white.
So you handed this to
a bank teller, a chick. So,
Did you put your hand in your pocket or anything?
No, I was smiling when I gave it to her, you know. So she reads.
What a douche.
So she reads the first line, I have a gun, and she just turns as pale as a human being could ever turn.
Oh, my God.
And she starts to go give me money. Now, what I don't realize is she stepped on the silent alarm.
Right.
And when I see her giving me money, I go, oh, I'm sorry. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. And she's like trembling. And I go, listen, sweetheart, it's a joke. I'm sorry. I grabbed the note, I crumbled it up, and I threw it in a garbage can.
Yeah.
My girlfriend had no idea what was going on. So she goes, what happened? I go, oh, nothing, forget it. So we get in her car. She drives me, we get in her car, she drives me back to my place. Now I'm in my backyard.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Right, well, that's what they called us. So,
was it in the paper and everything?
Oh, God, yeah. I'll bring in the article.
Oh, you have to.
So we, little do we know, we just missed an entire, like, barrage.
SWAT team.
SWAT team. Because it says armed robbery, you know?
Right.
And we just missed with her mother's car. We drive away. She goes shopping. An hour later, I'm in my backyard playing wiffle ball with my buddies.
Mm-hmm.
And the phone rings in the garage, and I pick it up, and it's my girlfriend's sister, who's this really, like, loud Italian. Yeah. She's, like, screaming at me. She goes, Artie, what did you do? The cops are at our house. They're talking to our mother. Where is Sue? You know, are drugs involved with this? She's screaming at me, like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
I finally figure it out. I got to go to the house. We have to surrender to the cops. They handcuff me and my girlfriend.
Man, do you know how to make an impression?
What were you, like a senior in high school?
Yeah, I was like 17. So,
well, no wonder like your parents just like didn't know what to do with you.
My girlfriend's father was this Italian guy right off the boat who I thought might have been like even a little connected or something. He was like looking at me like, he goes, when you rob a bank, you don't take my daughter. I'm like, you know, I didn't try to rob a bank.
Yeah, like a dude.
They arrested us, and I explained that she had nothing to do with it. They let her off, and I spent the night in jail. And I begged them. I got the attempted bank robbery charge down to, like, just a misdemeanor.
How'd you do that? I mean, did you get a lawyer?
I told them it was only a joke, yeah. Right. And I had to do...
Can you imagine if you were like a black kid? They would have thrown you in jail for 20 years. Dude, that would have been the end of you.
Well, I had to go to court with my grandfather. And, man...
Why your grandfather?
Because my old man fell in the meantime. Oh. And was in the hospital.
Now we know why. Son's an armed robber.
So he's like sitting in the hospital with my father. My mother's crazy. I got to go to court for attempted bank robbery with my grandfather and a lawyer.
Oh, my God.
The judge has the note. He goes,
did you get suspended from school?
I didn't graduate. I had to go to summer school.
Right.
That was another complication.
You were tied up.
Yeah, it was because of your jail sentence.
The judge has the note, and now it's juvenile court. And as a matter of fact, there's all black kids in the court, like, laughing at me because the judge is going, Mr. Lange, let me read you something. You're the author of this. I have a gun. Put $50,000 into a bag. Turn around, count to 1,000. And he just embarrassed me and gave me like 50 hours community service.
What did you have to do for community service?
I had to go to the courthouse in Union County in Jersey and clean up like White Castle wrappers for like 2 weeks. And all my buddies knew where I was, so I'm cleaning up garbage on the front lawn of the courthouse. They would drive by and throw like McDonald's at me. And
meanwhile, you must have been like the coolest guy because you like did armed robbery.
Well, what happened was I thought everything was cool. I thought like my girlfriend's father's not mad because she had nothing to do with it. A week later, in the local paper, big headline, front page, it says, bank robbery. It was only a joke. Tell the whole story. I was only 17. They couldn't use my name. My girlfriend was 18.
Oh.
She's the only name they mentioned.
Oh.
It said, driving the getaway car. It said her name.
Oh. Did she break up with you afterward?
Yeah, she ended up.
Yeah, she'd had it with you.
She went to college.
She didn't see a future with you.
No, she didn't see any sort of future.
She gave up bank robbing.
She's very nice.
What's she doing now?
She's a sweetheart. She's married with a few kids.
So maybe she's in the Symbionese Liberation Army.
Nah, she's really cool. We're still friendly. I hardly ever see her, but she's, you know.
Cool.
She got over it. I got the article. Should I bring the article in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to try to dig it up.
Son of a bitch.
What in the world? I can't even imagine doing that. Why would you do that?
Because I was just
because he's insane.
I was a goof.
How many times have you been arrested? Because you were arrested for coke. That was pretty serious. They must have looked on your record and seen that you'd done armed robbery.
Well, I was 17 when that happened, so it was. That's what I was arrested for. That's not what the charge.
Yeah, but they see you were arrested for armed robbery, and then they catch you on coke. And...
Yeah, that doesn't look great.
Yeah.
I've been arrested in my life, including bar fights and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
A total of maybe like 10 times.
Oh,
Wow.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody stand up.
Like problems. Shenanigans.
But I haven't been arrested in like 8 years.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
good
good.
for you.
Way to go.
He's reformed. The system is working.
I'm always like thinking like you're normal, and you're not.
I am now. I was a little nuts when I was younger.
Yeah.
I calmed down.
That's cool. Give me $50,000. I have a gun. Where's the joke?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was, my joke writing skills weren't perfected yet.
I'm working with Henry Hill.
No wonder you relate.
Come here,
I'm a little fascinated, Artie, so if you don't mind. So there's the coke arrest, there's the bank robbery arrest, and just tell me what the other 8 for. Were they all bar fights? Because I'm curious what else.
Counting, there's 2 DUIs.
I knew there was more to it.
And there was a bar. I got into a fight.
When were the DUIs?
The last one was in 93.
So does your mom get called every time you get a DUI?
Last time. I was actually driving. White Castle's always involved. I was driving to White Castle.
Because it was so important. Even though you were drunk, it was very important to get to White Castle.
Yeah, it was in this little town in Jersey, and I spent the night in jail. My mother had to come pick me up for that one. That was brutal.
Poor mother.
That was brutal.
Yeah. Did she yell at you? Or...
Oh, God, like in front of the cops and like screaming out, like, what are you doing? Like hit me in the back of the head.
And at that time, you were like 25 years old, right?
I was 24, probably.
And what are some of the other arrests?
One other time, I got into an enormous food fight at a Burger King. And I threw like a Whopper with cheese at this kid, and it stuck to his face, and he had all that like crap on his face, and he came at me, and I started fighting him, and we went over the counter, and
oh my goodness,
that was on the Parkway in Bloomfield.
In Burger King.
In Burger King.
Oh, wow.
And then so they arrested us for state troopers arrested us for that because it was on the Garden State Parkway. And the other time was a bar fight, a bouncer stop sign. You know what that is?
No.
You were trying to get in and he just put his arm out?
No. I was in the bar.
Oh, that's a Roman soldier helmet.
I was in the bar, and a guy we started yelling at each other, and I threw a beer at this guy, and we started fighting. These 2 bouncers grabbed me and took me outside. And the one grabbed me. A stop sign is when they grab you on both sides of your hair and smash your nose into their knee.
Oh.
So that's what this guy did. He just like, bam, he hit me, and my nose like exploded, and it was all bloody and everything. And thank God my buddy Danny was a cop. He came out. They were going to arrest me, and he showed his badge. And they didn't arrest me, and he took me to the hospital, and I passed out in the emergency room, and I don't remember any of it. They stitched up my nose and stuff. And the funny thing about that was the next day, I had a job as a waiter at the time at this Mexican restaurant in Hoboken, and my sister got me the job, and I had to work lunch the next day. So it's like, and I go, Stace, I'm blowing off work. She goes, you can't. I got you this job. They're going to fire me. You know, it was like my second day of work. I was going to blow it off. So at 11 a.m., I go into work lunch after that happened. They patch up my nose. I'm taking an order for lunch from this, like, yuppie couple.
Right.
And the woman looks up at me to ask a question, and she just starts screaming. And I don't know what she's screaming at, and my nose was bleeding. While I was taking a lunch order, my nose started to bleed. The guy at the Moon started to call the manager. The guy who owned the joint was like, I don't know what he was. He was like kind of a shady guy. He took me in the back. He thought I was doing coke.
Right. So no, that was last week, sir.
He starts smacking me like Tony Soprano would smack like his nephew or something.
Meanwhile, your nose is bleeding.
Yeah, he's smacking me while my nose is bleeding, and he fired me. And I got fired the second day. And then
not a lot of success in those early years.
Wow.
No.
Well, a little shaky. Yes, Dominic.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You know, that story about the bank, are you sure, Artie, your father wasn't hurt first?
No, my father fell a month later, but I had to go to court after that.
Because that sounds like you really meant to rob the bank, you know. As much as you sound like it was a joke now, but when you did it, you had to know what was going to occur.
No, I really thought I was just being, like, flirtatious with the chick behind the thing.
A note to a bank teller.
It's unbelievable. 3 DUIs, 2 armed robberies, and a partridge in a pear tree. Yes, Steve.
And a couple of bar fights to top it off.
Right. 5 DUIs, 4 bar fights, 3 punching cops,
Tearing up Burger King.
2 coke arrests, and 1 grand robbery.
Yeah, you know, so whatever.
Hey, Steve, you're on the air.
What a degenerate. Hey, Howard, let me ask you a question. Do they do a complete background check on employees before they're hired at that company?
Obviously not.
Yeah, obviously we didn't have a background check on this gentleman. Hey, some guy sent me an email about you, Artie, that, like, he said that in high school you and some chick went to a bank and pretended to rob it.
Yeah.
Is that true?
That's true. I got arrested for attempted bank robbery. Me and my girlfriend at the time.
I thought this was a goof.
No. This was like...
You were a mess.
Yeah, a bit of a mess. I think I might have told this on the air.
Yeah.
Early on, when I first came on the show, I think I told
I didn't think I believed this. This is what the guy wrote. You and your girlfriend.
Right.
Thought it would be funny to go up to a bank teller and hand them a note.
I did. My girlfriend was in the bank, and she had an account at the bank. We were like 17. I didn't even...
Right.
And on the back, my girlfriend was doing her business with another teller, and one of the other tellers was this chick who was kind of cute, and I was like looking at her, and to like flirt with her, I wrote on the back of a deposit slip a fake hold-up note, thinking she'd think it was funny.
What'd you write?
I wrote, I have a gun.
Fake? What's fake about that?
I wrote, I have a gun, put $50,000 into a bag. I remember it verbatim because a judge read it back to me 85 times in a courtroom. Put $50,000 into a bag, turn around, count to 1,000, act casual.
Holy mackerel.
And then I signed my name, Artie Lange.
Right.
And I figured when she saw that, she'd think it was a joke. So I go up to her, I hand it to her. She turns like white.
So you handed this to...
a bank teller, a chick. So,
Did you put your hand in your pocket or anything?
No, I was just like, smiling when I gave it to her, you know? So she reads...
What a douche.
So she reads the first line, I have a gun, and she just turns as pale as a human being could ever turn.
Oh, my God.
And she starts to go give me money. Now, what I don't realize is she stepped on the silent alarm.
Right.
And when I see her giving me money, I go, oh, I'm sorry. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. And she's like trembling. And I go, listen, sweetheart, it's a joke. I'm sorry. I grabbed the note, I crumpled it up, and I threw it in a garbage can.
Yeah.
My girlfriend had no idea what was going on. So she goes, what happened? I go, oh, nothing, forget it. So we get in her car. She drives me, we get in her car, she drives me back to my place. Now I'm in my backyard.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Right,
Really?
well, that's what they called us. So,
was it in the paper and everything?
Oh, God, yeah. I'll bring in the article.
Oh, you have to.
So we, little do we know, we just miss an entire, like, barrage.
SWAT team.
SWAT team. Because it says armed robbery, you know?
Right.
And we just missed with her mother's car. We drive away. She goes shopping. An hour later, I'm in my backyard playing wiffle ball with my buddies. And the phone rings in the garage, and I pick it up, and it's my girlfriend's sister, who's this really, like, loud Italian. She's, like, screaming at me. She goes, Artie, what did you do? The cops are at our house. They're talking to our mother. Where is Sue? You know, are drugs involved with this? She's screaming at me, like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
I finally figure it out. I got to go to the house. We have to surrender to the cops. They handcuff me and my girlfriend.
Man, do you know how to make an impression?
What were you, like a senior in high school?
Yeah, I was like 17. So,
well, no wonder your parents just like didn't know what to do with you.
my girlfriend's father was this Italian guy right off the boat who I thought might have been like even a little connected or something. He was like looking at me like, he goes, when you rob a bank, you don't take my daughter. I'm like, I didn't try to rob a bank.
Yeah, like a dude.
They arrested us, and I explained that she had nothing to do with it. They let her off, and I spent the night in jail. And I begged them. I got the attempted bank robbery charge down to, like, just a misdemeanor.
How'd you do that? I mean, did you get a lawyer?
I told them it was only a joke, yeah. Right. And I had to do...
Can you imagine if you were like a black kid? They would have thrown you in jail for 20 years. Dude, that would have been the end of you.
Well, I had to go to court with my grandfather. And, man...
Why your grandfather?
Because my old man fell in the meantime.
Oh.
And was in the hospital.
Now we know why. Son's an armed robber.
So he's like sitting in the hospital with my father. My mother's crazy. I got to go to court for attempted bank robbery with my grandfather and a lawyer.
Oh, my God.
The judge has the note. He goes,
did you get suspended from school?
I had to go to... I didn't graduate. I had to go to summer school.
All right.
That was another complication.
You were tied up.
Yeah, it was because of your jail sentence.
The judge has the note, and now it's juvenile court. And as a matter of fact, there's all black kids in the court, like, laughing at me because the judge is going, Mr. Lange, let me read you something. You're the author of this. I have a gun. Put $50,000 into a bag. Turn around, count to 1,000. And he just embarrassed me and gave me like 50 hours community service.
What'd you have to do for community service?
I had to go to the courthouse in Union County in Jersey and clean up like White Castle wrappers for like 2 weeks. And all my buddies knew where I was, so I'm cleaning up garbage on the front lawn of the courthouse. And they would drive by and throw like McDonald's at me. And
Meanwhile, you must have been like the coolest guy because you like did armed robbery.
Well, what happened was I thought everything was cool. I thought like my girlfriend's father's not mad because she had nothing to do with it. A week later, in the local paper, big headline, front page, it says, bank robbery. It was only a joke. Tell the whole story. I was only 17. They couldn't use my name. My girlfriend was 18.
Oh.
She's the only name they mentioned.
Oh.
It said, driving the getaway car. It said her name.
Oh. Did she break up with you afterward?
Yeah, she ended up.
Yeah, she'd had it with you.
She went to college.
She didn't see a future with you.
No, she didn't see any sort of future.
She gave up bank robbing.
She's very nice.
What's she doing now?
She's a sweetheart. She's married with a few kids.
So maybe she's in the Symbionese Liberation Army.
Nah, she's really cool. We're still friendly. I hardly ever see her, but she's
cool.
She got over it. I got the article. Should I bring the article in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to try to dig it up.
Son of a bitch.
What in the world? I can't even imagine doing that. Why would you do that?
Because I was just
because he's insane.
I was a goof.
How many times you been arrested? Because you were arrested for coke. That was pretty serious. They must have looked on your record and seen that you'd done armed robbery.
Well, I was 17 when that happened, so it was. That's what I was arrested for. That's not what the charge.
Yeah, but they see you were arrested for armed robbery, and then they catch you on coke. And
yeah, that doesn't look great.
Yeah.
I've been arrested in my life, including bar fights and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
A total of maybe like 10 times.
Oh,
Wow.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like problems. Shenanigans.
But I haven't been arrested in like 8 years.
Yeah, that's
good. For you.
Way to go.
He's reformed. The system is working.
I'm always like thinking like you're normal and you're not.
I am now. I was a little nuts when I was younger.
Yeah.
I calmed down.
Oh, that's cool. Give me $50,000. I have a gun. Where's the joke?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was, my joke writing skills weren't perfected yet.
I'm working with Henry Hill.
No wonder you're related.
Come here,
I'm a little fascinated, Artie, so if you don't mind. Okay, so there's the coke arrest, there's the bank robbery arrest, and just tell me what the other 8 for. Were they all bar fights? Because I'm curious what else.
I'm counting, there's 2 DUIs. I knew there was more to it. And there was a bar. I got into a fight.
When were the DUIs?
The last one was in 93.
So does your mom get called every time you get a DUI?
I was actually driving. White Castle's always involved. I was driving to White Castle.
Because it was so important. Even though you were drunk, it was very important to get to White Castle.
Yeah, it was in this little town in Jersey, and I spent the night in jail. My mother had to come pick me up for that one. That was
poor mother.
That was brutal.
Yeah. Did she yell at you? Or
oh, God, like in front of the cops and like screaming out, like, what are you doing? Like hitting me in the back of the head.
And at that time, you were like 25 years old, right?
I was 24, probably.
And what are some of the other arrests?
One of the time, I got into an enormous food fight at a Burger King. And I threw like a Whopper with cheese at this kid, and it stuck to his face, and he had all that like crap on his face, and he came at me, and I started fighting him, and we went over the counter, and
oh my goodness,
that was on the Parkway in Bloomfield.
In Burger King.
In Burger King.
Oh, wow.
And then so they arrested us for state troopers arrested us for that because it was on the Garden State Parkway.
And the other time was a bar fight, a bouncer stop sign. You know what that is?
No. Oh, you were trying to get in and he just put his arm out?
No. I was
That's
in
a clothes
I was in the bar.
Oh, that's a Roman soldier helmet.
I was in the bar and a guy we started yelling at each other, and I threw a beer at this guy and we started fighting. These two bouncers grabbed me and took me outside. And the one grabbed me. A stop sign is when they grab you on both sides of your hair and smash your nose into their knee.
Oh!
So that's what this guy did. He just like, bam, he hit me and my nose like exploded and it was all bloody and everything. And thank God my buddy Danny was a cop. He came out. They were going to arrest me and he showed his badge. And they didn't arrest me. And he took me to the hospital. And I passed out in the emergency room, and I don't remember any of it. They stitched up my nose and stuff. And the funny thing about that was, the next day, I had a job as a waiter at the time at this Mexican restaurant in Hoboken. And my sister got me the job, and I had to work lunch the next day. So it's like, and I go, Stace, I'm blowing off work. She goes, you can't. I got you this job. They're going to fire me. You know, it was like my second day of work. I was going to blow it off. So at 11 a.m., I go into work lunch after that happened. They patch up my nose. I'm taking an order for lunch from this, like, yuppie couple.
Right.
And the woman looks up at me to ask a question, and she just starts screaming. And I don't know what she's screaming at, and my nose was bleeding. While I was taking a lunch order, my nose started to bleed. The guy at the moon started to call the manager. The guy who owned the joint was like, I don't know what he was doing. He was like kind of a shady guy. He took me to the back. He thought I was doing coke.
Right. So, no, that was last week, sir.
He starts smacking me like Tony Soprano would smack like his nephew or something.
Meanwhile, your nose is bleeding.
Yeah, he's smacking me while my nose is bleeding, and he fired me. And I got fired the second day. And then
not a lot of success in those early years.
Wow.
No.
Well, a little shaky. Yes, Dominic.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You know, that story about the bank, are you sure, Artie, your father wasn't hurt first?
No, my father fell a month later, but I had to go to court after that.
Because that sounds like you really meant to rob the bank, you know. As much as you sound like it was a joke now, but when you did it, you had to know what was going to occur.
No, I really thought I was just being, like, flirtatious with the chick behind the thing.
A note to a bank teller.
It's unbelievable. 3 DUIs, 2 armed robberies, and a partridge in a pear tree. Yes, Steve.
And a couple of bar fights to top it off.
Right. 5 DUIs, 4 bar fights, 3 punching cops,
Tearing up Burger King.
2 coke arrests, and 1 grand robbery.
Yeah, you know, so whatever.
Hey,
Steve, you're on the air.
What a degenerate. Hey, Howard, let me ask you a question. Do they do a complete background check on employees before they're hired at that company?
Obviously not.
Yeah, obviously we didn't have a background check on this gentleman. Yes, Jerry.
Yeah, Howard, I'm going through some old photographs, maybe the mid-'70s, and I see a picture of you holding a big stick in front of the Washington Monument. I think the stick's name was Francis.
What?
Okay, were you a counselor at the Mid-Island Y?
The Mid-Island Y? No. Steve-O is the...
What was that all about?
I don't want to talk about it. Okay. I don't want to talk about Francis the Talking Stick.
Oh, you have skeletons in your closet.
I don't know what that guy was talking about.
Is there any chance we could take a break before we bring Steve-O in?
Why?
Because the E-guys had another blackout. You know, they lost all their power.
I have this show orchestrated.
I know.
I mean, it is a very, very organized program.
And Steve-O, that's going to be the big show for tonight, I think, or next week. So.
Oh, I see. Steve-O.
Need the lights.
All right, I'll take a break. I was going to present Steve-O to you with his hot girlfriend, the penthouse pet, but... Artie has to go beat someone up anyway. Yes.
Artie, were you just like a nasty drunk at the time? You used to get into fights?
I realize how close you were probably to becoming like a mob guy or like some low-life...
No, mob. I was never a mob.
Not mob, but like small-time guy.
Any kind of hoodlum?
Look, there's a lot of moments in my life where, it could have gone either way. I don't know. I mean,
I'm not sure it's over yet.
No, it's over.
The jury's still out.
I mean, Artie had some low points. I mean, Artie, you told me that was it after the Norm show that you came back to New Jersey and you were driving a cab for a while?
No.
after Mad TV, though, right?
I was literally, when I got the call to do dirty work, I was like 2 days away from calling the old cab company where I work.
Oh, you vey. After being on Mad TV.
After being on Mad TV,
yeah. Well, that's like Matt Lauer from the Today Show. We knew him.
Yeah.
He was working for the local Fox channel here, like a local guy, got fired. And then, what was that?
Tools just fell out of the ceiling. I swear to God.
What are they? What is that?
These tools just fell out of the ceiling.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh, man.
I'm not real comfortable working here.
Those are a bunch of Allen wrenches. They'll put a dent in you, man.
Oh, my God. Sorry.
It's no problem. How does that happen? Do you guys leave your tools on the ceiling? Look who's in charge of our equipment. Now that I think about it.
No wonder they keep losing
the whole
power.
camera just flipped over.
You know what? We better take a break.
Could have fallen on somebody's head.
No big deal. Yeah, I say.
I see.
My problem is you guys. What was I saying?
Matt Lauer.
Oh, yeah. Matt Lauer, yeah. So he got fired by the local Fox station. He was so hard up, he was doing some comedy bits for us.
And wasn't he about to go into landscaping?
He was going to open up a landscaping business, and then he got the call to host the local, the news before the Today Show, and then the rest is history. He's lucky.
Yeah.
Because he walks around all arrogant now, but that dude was just about 2 days away from a landscaping business.
Yeah, that's why I don't
He could have been mowing your lawn.
Yeah.
Those years took away any arrogance I might have had.
All right, we got to take a break, and then you'll meet Steve-O, see what he's up to. He's always got something going on. And I just saw a tape of him lighting his head on fire.
Well, I was walking through the hall, and they were carrying on that he had brought in a taser, and they wanted to take it away from him.
He has a taser with him, but I'm sure he means to use it on himself.
Yeah, he doesn't mean any harm to anyone else.
Yeah.
I always like Steve-O, man. He's a great guest.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back right after these words. Artie went over to the Yankee game yesterday with Baba Booey. Who else went?
Ross Apin.
Ross, too,
Oh,
huh?
really?
Yeah.
Another guy living high on the hog.
He's watching The View every day now.
Isn't he supposed to be out looking for work?
Me and Ross were talking
Really?
about
What's going on?
He wanted to come.
I talked to him about that. You know, I don't going to give you his whole itinerary, but Vegas, Italy, and L.A. all for weddings. I was like, dude, you travel more than when you had money.
Right.
He's like, but now he's going to buckle down. He's looking for work.
Oh, okay.
Good.
He just took a little time off to enjoy himself. Okay.
Yeah. What the hell? I want some time off. When are they going to fire me? I'm waiting to be fired. Some of the Redstones can't possibly like me. I'm dirty, filthy broadcaster.
I heard it on the television that you two aren't going to be able to live together.
Yeah, but then I saw another interview saying that he goes, we're going to make Howard Stern happy. We want him here.
Oh.
So, it's good. Wonder how they're going to make me happy. How about some scores parties?
He's got a lap dog for you.
That'll be nice. How about giving me
$100
$100 million? That'll make me happy. Everybody's so rich at this company. I see everyone's leaving with 27, 35 million, 400 million.
Yeah, these parachutes are very lovely.
Didn't you ever, maybe I'm crazy.
Where's my 400?
I know I'm low man on the totem pole, but didn't you ever dream, the 20 years we were here, that like one day somebody would tap you on the shoulder, because that's the way I've always heard it went, and say, hey, here's 1,000 shares. Here's 2,000
Are you kidding me? I heard Mel did that with all the guys who were originally here. Like Chiasano got a big, a bunch of money. Frank Flores and some of the...
I heard Sam Ben-Ruby might have been part of it.
I heard there was a club, and everybody in the club got it.
Yeah, Oedipus.
Yeah, it was just like...
I'm never in the club.
No,
What did I
didn't
do?
get into that club.
I thought like someday somebody would say, 20 years of great ratings. All right, here's 1 million shares for Howard. Gary, here's 1,000 shares for you.
Oh, you? I'm not going to give you any.
I know.
So give me $1 million. I'll give you 100. Hey, Lonnie's on the phone. Hey, Lon, what's up, man?
Hi, Howard. How are you?
Long time no see.
Boy, that HowardStern.com is just amazing.
And by the way, I'm glad you brought that up, because it really is. I was on there last night, and I hadn't been on for a day. When you click on Bush Facts, and you go, like, at the bottom of Bush Facts, there's a whole section of, like, Bush fun.
Uh-huh.
They got some of the funniest goddamn videos on the internet on there. And we have some really good articles but like funny stuff.
You know what's a really amazing piece of tape that I'd never seen until I went there that I cannot stop
Website
watching?
of the week?
No, the one where Bush is cleaning the eyeglasses.
The music.
That's amazing.
Well, there's a whole bunch of funny ones. And, in fact, I don't remember the section on the page, Bush Facts. It's at the bottom. It's like fun stuff to do with Bush. And then there's another thing on there, too, that's pretty good. It's Website of the Week, and some guy sent it to me, and I put it up there. There's this commercial that airs for, I think, Honda or Toyota, and you can link to it. And it's amazing. It's all done, no special effects. And you got to watch it because you think, well, they must have done this with special effects. But it's basically one of those kind of weird things where they roll a ball, and then it hits into something else, and then turns on something else, and then turns on something else. And it's pretty amazing tape. I thought. But anyway, then we have, Joey Boots writes about his experiences here.
Artie's pictures.
Yeah, there's rundowns. There's all kinds of stuff on
It's
there.
nice.
Yeah, you can check that all out. We're trying to build the website, and then the bulletin board's coming soon, and then I got something else big planned for there, but I'm not going to unveil it yet. So what's going on, man? So you going to go to court with this dude?
Oh, this is such a silly case, and he's such a copycat, and I'm so happy to be able to tell you what happened, because we just found out about this late yesterday, and it took a few hours for us to locate the maitre d's and the dancers that know this fella, and it is such a fraud. Apparently he's just piling on. I guess they figure when you're the world's most famous strip club that you're supposed to settle these cases, that you have lots of money. We are the most successful club thanks to you, but this is a very simple case. This guy has been there many times, including many times since this incident.
Oh.
Now, get this, Howard. The incident was in October. He came in saying he was a diplomat. He came in with a couple of bodyguards. He came in, I can buy this place. How much do the girls want? $500 to sit with me? Give them $5,000 each.
Wow.
Just acting like the richest man in the world. So we're very careful about that. We bring him a dozen girls. He can act like a potentate if he wants. But no, 2 hours later, get me another dozen girls. What do they want, $1,000? Give them $3,000 each. But here's what's funny. It happened in October. He didn't even dispute it with his credit card companies. We were paid for this back in November. It was not an issue. He's been in November, December, January, February, and now all of a sudden he puts in a lawsuit. It's very hard to do business.
Yeah, it seems kind of a strange story. But
Right, everybody wants to take it back after they've had their party.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to go to court over it?
Oh, well, there's no question we'll win. The credit card company sided with us. We've already gotten our money. He's been there many times since.
Right.
I don't know what is in his mind, but...
yeah, the publicity ain't great.
It's just silly. I mean, we do get some of these big spenders. We're proud that we have some of the richest customers in the world. Our dancers make more money than anyone else in the world in our industry. And once in a while, someone comes in, spends an outrageous amount of money, and I guess they think they can just get away with it, that we're gonna roll over.
Well, I'll tell you what. In honor to support you, I'm going to throw a party over at Scores and come over there and receive many lap dances to support you.
How does that help him?
Helps me.
That helps us.
We need to have a party. All right, hey, Lon.
One more thing, Howard, spending over $100,000. First of all, Artie Lange has a liquor tab over $100,000, so it's been done.
Of course, and I always enjoy myself.
Artie spent over $100,000 at the Yankee game on his liquor tab yesterday, according to Gary.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Hey, Lon, I got to go. Scores is the best.
See you. We're going to have a great party. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, brother. There's Lonnie explaining the whole thing.
He's put upon by these people.
I mean, easy running a strip club. You got enough hassles from this uptight, government and stuff. You don't need some guy ruining it for everybody by suing Scores.
Yeah.
Scores is a great club. Head over there.
Pay your bill.
Speaking of pay,
if you want 12 girls, you got to pay for 12 girls.
Yeah, tell me about it. By the way, if that guy wants to call in, he can too, the Indian guy.
Oh!
Sure.
Hear
Put
that,
them on
Lonnie?
together.
He took it from me, the money.
Hey, what's right?
So you went to the Yankee game real quick because I got to take a break and then we got to get to Grandma.
So go to the Yankee game. Artie's got killer seats, 6 rows off of third base. These are his season tickets.
Very nice. It's the best thing about my life.
So it's me and Artie and Ross, and then some of the guys from the office came up later. So we start at this place.
How did Stuttering John end up there?
He was in town, and
doesn't he work in California?
Yeah, he was in town because he's dark this week. The show's dark this week.
John had his own tickets, and he took Will and Jason.
Show's dark this week. I love that. Show's dark. They're off for the week. Hollywood, they love, the show's dark for the week. Baba Booey, show's dark for the week.
He's talking television.
Look at you, bro.
Yes, and the Yankees had a matinee yesterday.
So there's a bar across the street that's a legendary bar. It's called Stan's. Everybody meets there before the game. So we start there.
Great bar.
So Artie knows everybody. You know, Artie knows the guy at the parking garage. Artie knows the guys at Stan's. You know, everybody knows Artie.
He's Mr. Yankee.
And you know,
I've known him for years.
Artie's whole day is people coming up to him, yelling out names of Italian people that they think he knows. Like they go, "Hey, Artie, Joey Scamardello. He said he played baseball with you in 3rd grade."
Right.
Artie goes, "I don't know him."
Right.
Yeah, he knows you. The next guy, it's like, you know, Jimmy Iovine.
Yeah.
And if Artie knows him, he looks for a little bit, then he goes, good kid.
Right.
That's like the seal of approval. Good
Wow.
kid.
Artie's got his own little fiefdom.
But it's all day long. It's just all these names. You know this guy? You know this guy?
Right.
All right. So we're at Stan's. Now, we got there, and Ross bought Artie.
What do they expect to have happen if Artie knows the guy?
Just approval.
I don't know. A lot of times I don't have any idea who they're talking about. And then if I do, I just go, tell them I said hi.
That happened at least, what, 5 or 6 times yesterday?
Easy.
So then you go to the game.
So, no, we're at Stan's. So, Artie had a Jack, I guess it was a Jack and Water. So I saw that one. Now, I had to step out because I was on the phone a couple of times. So I did see when we were trying to leave, a guy held up a shot for Artie. But Artie can't turn around and just say, no, I'm going to the game. So he goes back in to get the shot.
Well, the guy bought a shot.
So I'm going to give you 2 drinks at Stan's, but there was probably more, right?
It was probably about 3 drinks.
Okay, so we got 3 Jacks at Stan's. Now we go in, we sit down in our seats, and the waitress comes. So she's want to take our food order. So I'm not really listening to what's going on. Artie's sitting 2 seats away from me. She goes, okay, let me repeat back that order. That's a turkey hero, a hamburger, a water, and 4 Jack Daniels on the rocks. 4.
Man.
No, here's the situation.
Who was drinking Jack Daniels on the rock?
Hold on, we're not done yet.
Besides Artie.
At a Yankee game, it takes forever to get something.
Right, so you ordered.
I ordered, that was for the game.
No, it wasn't for the game. That was for the next 2 innings. Okay, so you take the 3 from Stan's and the 4 we ordered. Now we're up to 7.
Right.
Now Artie gets up and he goes, I got to go to the bathroom. So while he's gone, Ross and I go, we should probably order Artie more drinks. The woman goes, it's last call. It's the 6th inning. So we order 1. Let's get him 2. All right, so we order 2, but Artie comes back with, it was either a double or a triple from the bathroom.
That's a double.
So that's another 4 to go with the 4 and the 8, and the 3 is 11. And I don't know what happened after I left.
Wow, Artie.
Yeah, okay. So it's a baseball game.
But do you see the baseball game?
Yeah.
Wait, do you actually enjoy the game?
I loved the game. I bet $1,000 on the Yanks. I won.
Right.
It was beautiful afternoon. It was such a fun time.
Artie said to me, he looked at me while we were standing at Stan's, and he goes, this is better than Christmas. Day game, this weather, Yankees, this is the best day of the year.
It's just so great to be an American. This is what the terrorists are trying to take from us.
So here's what
he's right. If they had a good baseball game and Jack and Water and stuff in Iraq.
What a nice afternoon.
You know, Artie's not blowing up anything.
Nobody hates anybody. Yeah.
So here's where it gets funny now, because I understand that this is Artie's gig at all the games. So we're 6 seats.
It's got to be sloshed.
He actually was. I gotta say, he was like relaxed.
Oh my God!
I felt relaxed.
We're 6 rows off the field. I mean, we're really close to the field, right?
Yeah.
Third base coach for the Baltimore Orioles. Nobody knows him a hole in the wall. His name's on the back of a shirt, Tribblehorn, right? Guy's like in his 50s or whatever, just standing there. Artie's voice cuts through the whole crowd. He goes, Tribblehorn, you have no ass. Where's your ass? And the guy had no ass. Artie went on for like 3 minutes about the guy's ass. Hey, Tribblehorn, where's your ass? And everyone's cracking up.
Does the guy hear it?
Yeah,
he absolutely hears it.
That's the greatest thing about these seats. The guy definitely hears it.
Right.
And he doesn't turn around. He's got to ignore you.
And is the crowd cheering you on?
Oh, yeah, they loved it.
They loved it.
They loved it.
But the other great thing about these seats is now A-Rod plays third.
Right.
So
yes.
A-Rod's standing next to this old guy who's just barely probably making a living. The other great thing now is to yell out like, hey, Tribblehorn, A-Rod bought the Orioles. You're fired. I mean, he's literally standing next to Jeter and A-Rod. These guys make $1 billion. This guy's probably making like 100 G's a year.
So then Will came down to sit in our seats, and Will's another funny guy. He likes to drink a little bit, too. When he drinks, he gets loud.
Yeah.
Really?
So he loves to go to opposing parks and make noise. Like I would be quiet. I'm a Met fan. I'm not wearing my Met hat. I'm not looking for trouble. I'm just going to watch the game. So we're sitting at the seats, and Will's got a couple of drinks, and he starts yelling out really loud. He's like, A-Rod homo! A-Rod homo!
Oh, jeez.
That's not cool at a Yankee game.
A-Rod homo? And what happens then after?
Nobody said anything. I thought people were going to throw drinks at him and stuff.
Well, it was just sad.
Then he's like, let's go Baltimore! And I'm like, what Yankee Stadium do? What, are you looking for trouble?
Yeah, what, you want to get his ass kicked?
And then Will gave me the whole dissertation on how important it is to bet on a game, how it changes everything, because Will bet the under, which was 10.5 runs.
Right.
Which means the 2 teams had to score under 10.5 runs. And he goes, listen, You have to bet on a game. You don't understand, because now this game that's pretty much meaningless to me is now exciting.
Well, how much should he bet?
I don't know what he bet, but Artie just dropped $1,000 on the game right before we went in just because he wanted it to be exciting.
Well, Will win?
Wasn't it exciting enough between the 900 Jack of Waters and the beautiful day?
Well, here, you know what?
Now he has to have a reason to stay up.
You see, I put up 2,200 to win 1,000 because the Yankees were heavily favored.
Right.
So that made it very interesting.
Right.
But
Will won his bet.
Yeah.
But there were times when the bases were loaded, and there were none out, and he's just like sweating.
Right.
Because one swing at the bat,
that's fun.
4 more runs.
Yeah, that makes it interesting.
That sounds like a good day.
The good thing about going with Ross, too, is every time I heckled the third base coach, it was there was a period at the end of it with a, how are you?
Right.
So are you guys sitting with John, or was he...
No, he was a couple of rows behind us.
Right. How does he get good seats?
John, has tickets somehow. I'm not sure how, but he has seats.
Gary says he's a big name dropper now.
What name is he dropping?
He goes, who's on the show? It's really cool. Maria Shriver. She came looking for me too, and when she left, she's like, "Goodbye, John." By the way, Angelina Jolie. Oh my God. Oh my God. And who's the other one? Who's the girl that does the voice of Shrek?
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz. Oh my, you have to see her. She's unbelievable. And then he says someone else who lives in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah. Who lives near him in L.A.
Oh, so now he's dropping all the neighbors' names.
I live right across the street from Gary Sinise. I hear him playing the drums every night. You like that movie, Like Mike? The guy who wrote it lives next door.
Wow.
I am a delighted director from Lord of the Rings. The other day, I saw Madonna.
Big name dropper.
I would have invited her in, but we were
dark.
He's got a weird move too. He's wearing shorts yesterday, and he's still got that big, giant, thick wallet, but no pockets.
Yeah.
So he makes everybody hold his stuff. It's just funny. He's like, here, Will, put my wallet in your pocket. He makes everyone hold his stuff. It's a funny.
What is that?
Slave.
And I said, you know what's going to happen? You're going to forget your wallet, then you're going to make somebody FedEx it back to L.A. It's always an issue.
Yeah, right. It's all about him. That's weird.
His wallet and his phone and his cigarettes, everyone...
Yeah, he's got all this stuff and he has no place to put it.
Yeah.
It is. There wasn't a change in that at all.
Big mess.
Same enormous wallet. He's got an enormous...
Yeah, it's really like 3 or 4 inches thick. I don't know what's in it.
Yeah, there's never any money in it.
No money.
Yeah. I don't have any money.
Artie, could you pick this up, please?
Why would you want someone to hold your wallet? Like, what do you do?
But that's why he was always forgetting and losing stuff.
He did pick up we all stuffed into a gypsy cab at the end of them.
What's going on with Belmont?
I'm going Saturday, definitely.
Well, I wouldn't want to be any part of that.
I was going to go, but the race
crazy.
starts so much later than I thought.
Yeah, it's a late race.
6:40.
Too much.
It's going to be nuts, man, because horses, going for the Triple Crown.
It is going to be. It's very exciting to be there at that time.
They're expecting 150,000.
And Howard, you have never seen a horse treated like that. It's like the horse is Mick Jagger.
When the horse left Philadelphia,
but isn't this horse like a Seabiscuit? Didn't he get like his face messed up?
Got his face smashed in.
And he doesn't have great bloodlines.
And he was never going to be able to run again after he got his face smashed in.
There's a weird story too where the original owner was killed, and the guy that half owned the horse wanted to get out of racing because he was so upset about the guy being killed. So he got rid of all of his horses except for 2 or 3, and this is one
and then
of them.
there's a trainer issue too. That's sort of it's all crazy.
But his face got smashed in. It was fractured and everything, and then he recovered.
The odds right now are 2 to 5.
But they say
heavily
he's a
favored.
Great horse with a great heart.
He's not going to win.
But Robert's right.
So?
They never win.
It does happen. It
Very
does happen,
rarely.
and he has never lost a race.
He will not win.
Last Triple Crown winner
He will win. How much you want to bet?
Name it.
I'll bet you $1,000.
No. Because I mean,
100 then.
And horses don't know they're the favorite. They don't know.
He doesn't care about that.
Yeah, no, he's just a good runner.
He just likes to run.
Yeah.
But Robin was right. Like, the horse left Philadelphia on Thursday to come to Belmont. I think there was like a police escort and helicopters following it and camera crews. That's what they had. They had 2 live camera crews following his trip to Belmont.
He's not going to win.
And then when they're there at wherever Belmont is, he's got guards around the clock.
Mm-hmm.
He gets special everything. He has a horse that they just keep just to pal around with him. He has to have his own buddy. And when they bring him out, there will be police around him like he's the president of the United States.
Wow. A lot of money. Well, because you know what they do to those horses? They sponge them. They stick sponges up their nose. That's what they did to Seabiscuit. They shove sponges up their nose so that when they're running, they can't breathe and they can't run as fast.
Yeah. Who does that? The competition?
Yeah, it's been done.
Hey, I got to take a break. When we come back, we got to do Beat the Juice. A grandmother's going to play for her grandson to get a porn star to go to the prom. I know, it's complicated, isn't it? And we have a whole bunch of other stuff, too, and we'll be back right after these words.
Here's Mike Tyson planning his strategy for his next fight.
You can't touch me, you're not man enough. I'll eat your on the line. Oh, anybody in here can with this. This is the ultimate, man. You hoe. Come and say in my face up down. That's for everybody. Come on, you. You're scared, coward. You're not man enough for me. You can't last 2 minutes in my world. Look at you scared now, you hoe. Scared like a little white. Scared of the real man. I'll you till you love me.
Howard Stern Show.
Then we're in Vegas. They want to have more meetings.
Oh, boy.
Because our agent's coming out there, and when he gets out there, he gets bored, and he wants to have meetings, but he forgets that I have to work.
Right. You'll be doing a show.
Yeah, I'm a little busy.
You'll be splitting eights.
Yeah. Well, I want a little time for that, too.
Of course.
I need to split some eights.
Because you're in Las Vegas. When you're down and out.
All right. Please, enough. All right with that guy. So how'd your meetings go?
All right, I guess. There's a movie I have a shot at getting in.
Oh, so you were out there auditioning.
Yeah. Well, just like a meeting type thing.
I thought that you were out there with your sitcom meeting.
Well, that was part of... me and Sam had to get together to figure out a way to... The network did what they call rolling it over till mid-season.
What does that mean?
I think it means it's dead.
Oh. Why? They didn't like the...
What did you do?
No, I don't think they think that I'd be likable in a sitcom.
I agree.
So I'm going, what do I have the deal here for?
Yeah, what?
They actually said that to you?
No, I think in an indirect way that's what they say. Because in the sitcom, I play a guy who's kind of like a road comedian, you know?
Right.
And they want me to have a girlfriend in the show. And I said, isn't it funnier if I try to get laid on the road and stuff? And they don't think that's likable behavior for a sitcom.
So have a girlfriend. Who cares? Cheat on her.
I mean, yeah, well, I said, yeah, isn't that unlikable if I have a girlfriend? A single guy trying to have sex seems like normal. Babe.
See, I'd watch a show where a guy has a girlfriend, and then you keep trying to reinvent a line for cheating.
Yeah.
But although you should have a girlfriend, because, like, who's going to believe you're sort of like a ladies' man?
No. See, that's the humor. They're not going to be hot chicks.
Right, like pigs.
They're going to be the kind of chicks I was getting when I was a broke stand-up comedian.
Right. Well, hey, that's funny to me, but...
Yeah, so...
But if the network's saying you're not likable, by giving you a girlfriend, you'd be likable?
Yeah. Exactly.
And what are they going to give you, a way hotter girlfriend than you really should have?
Of course.
Well, yeah.
Because they even do that with King of Queens and stuff.
Right, and then it's not going to be believable then.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But
well, they don't want believable. They don't want believable. They want likable.
But that...
Artie's like, no, you don't understand. It's got to be somewhat realistic. And they're like, no, it doesn't.
Right.
You know, Tim Allen's 40-something years old. His girlfriend's 20 in the movies. I mean, you know.
But then they don't go all the way with it. They try to go halfway, like get a chick who's cute. So if we're going to go the unbelievable route, let's get Heidi Klum to do it.
Right. That's funny.
Yeah. What if I'm just married to this unbelievably smoking hot model?
And she's mad about you.
Yeah. And, I'm playing just these bachelor parties doing stand-up, and they figure out why she's married to me.
So what's the deal? You're not going to get the sitcom or what?
Well, they said it's not officially dead yet. Me and Sam are trying to figure out a way to make me likable.
Acceptable to everyone.
Why don't you do your real life? Be a comedian on the Howard Stern. You get a break on the Howard Stern show, then you get a hot girlfriend. But, you know, everyone's debating whether or not you got her because you're on the Howard Stern show or because she really likes you. And you're constantly testing her to see whether you like her.
I have your permission to do that?
Yeah, who cares?
No.
Well, you don't have to be the Howard Stern show. Be the Bob and Tom show or whatever. The guy in Indianapolis, those idiots who rip us off. Or be the Big Bubba's, whatever, the Big Bubble. Bubble the Love Sponge. Be him.
Well, in the show, I'm on a really lame sitcom, but I make good money. So that's a way to get chicks, you know.
Yeah.
But then the show gets canceled, so I go back to my old life.
So let me think this through. You get a sitcom.
Right.
And you get a hot chick, and the whole time you're debating whether the hot chick really wants you for you.
Right.
Or she wants you because you're on a sitcom.
Yeah, that's part of what this guy goes through. And
I like that.
And then the sitcom gets canceled.
Go ahead.
And then I have to go back to my whole life.
Well, no one wants to see that.
See, that's a problem.
That's a downer.
No, but it's like I have to do these really bad gigs to keep up.
Nah, no one wants to see that.
That's a downer. Yeah, I'm getting depressed.
Just be on a sitcom and be a successful sitcom, and you can't figure out whether this chick likes you for you or not.
Right.
And you constantly test her.
Oh, okay.
And then you get anal from a guy.
And then as long as apparently as long as you get a different guy to play the lead,
right,
it'll be fine.
I don't know. You know what? You're right. Sitcoms are not for you.
It's hard.
You and Sam work it out.
You know what? Why am I busy in your meeting, in your dreaded nightmare?
Hey, thanks, Rick. Can we meet today from 2 to 6:30?
Did you work enough yesterday?
Yeah, and this is what my meeting was like. Well, you know, rock and roll high school, so then the girl takes in, I'm like, ah.
It's a lot of work, man.
It is.
Trying to figure out, you know.
I just want someone to go off, ride it, and I'll collect a lot of money.
But Artie said he might be up for a movie. A week ago, he was saying he thought his movie career was over.
Yeah, look at you. What movie you up for, bro?
Well, it'll be another Will Ferrell movie. It'll be like my 4th in a row.
Oh, all right. So
you're the new team now.
Thank God he's working. Well, it's not really a team. I have 4 lines, and he's the star of the movie.
Right. It's your usual.
That's the winning formula.
Can't they give you a bigger part?
It would be like maybe a part that would shoot for like 2 weeks.
Oh, all right. So that's good.
That would be decent.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you get for something like that?
I don't know. That's the other big question. You're afraid to ask.
Mike, Francois Botha, 6-1 underdog. Are there any concerns on your part?
I don't know anything about that. I don't know nothing about numbers. I just know what I can do. How about kill this mother?
Okay. How about the 19 months off?
What about it?
Does it pose any problem to you?
We'll see. I doubt it seriously.
You take into the ring a lot of rage. Does that work for you, or does it work against you at times?
Who cares? We're in a fight anyway. What does it matter?
Well, for example, rage against Vander Holyfield worked against you.
Well, it. It's a fight, so whatever happens, happens.
Mike, why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. If you have a problem, turn off your station.
You know what? I think we'll end the discussion right now.
Then we could.
You got it. Have a nice fight, Mike.
Off.
Class act, buddy.
Hey, Mike.
Beat up your station. I'm gonna beat up your station. I'm gonna beat up your satellite dish. Hey, you know why I talk like this? Because, like Bruce Banner, I was affected by gamma rays and I turned into Iron Mike Tyson. I go crazy. I turn into the Hulk. Sometimes when those photographers are shooting pictures of me, the lights make me crazy like King Kong. Yeah. And I get crazy. Get those lights away from me, you crazy white bitches. Get the lights off. I'm King Kong. I'm King Kong. I'm Sonica. I'll kick your ass. If you don't want me to kick your ass, you better shackle me. You better put me in shackles and stop flashing those flash bulbs in my eyes. I'm gonna beat up your picture-taking photograph of cameras. I'm so crazy, I'm not fighting people anymore. I'm gonna fight a bridge. Because I punched the walls in my house. We'll beat up the Brooklyn Bridge.
We talked to some contractors that he has to go into Mike Tyson's house every once in a while and patch up the drywall because he punches through the drywall.
He said he had one special room he beats up all the time.
I beat up walls. I beat up a house. How you gonna fight me? I beat up a house. I beat up all the insulation in my house. My house wasn't warm enough, and I said, damn you, you insulation. I'm gonna beat you up. Fighting people isn't fun anymore. Yeah. It's hard to do this impression.
Rough on your voice?
I beat up the bridges. I beat up...
He's actually not even that high. He's like,
I beat up the bridges. I beat up the bridges. I'm going to beat up Central Park. I'm going to beat up the ionosphere. I'm going to take on the ecosystem. I don't know what the ecosystem is, but I'm going to beat it up. I'm going to kill the sun and the moon. I'm going to fly to I'm the first black man to fly to the moon and beat it up. I'm going to kill the sun and the moon and the moon at night. What else you need, baby.
Don't flash that in my eyes.
You don't like to turn off your station before I beat it up.
I'm going to beat up your air conditioner. You're not going to have any air conditioning this summer.
I'm going to beat up the radiator in your house.
I'm going to beat up the core of the earth.
I'm going to fly to the core of Earth and beat it up.
Because I'm crazy. I had Mike Tyson from Gamma Rays.
Yeah, Gamma Rays came through a test tube and infected me.
I'm going to fight the Washington Monument.
Yeah.
And I'll knock it down.
That big white bitch, the Washington Monument.
You bitch.
Then I'm going to beat up Abraham Lincoln.
You try living in my world just for one day.
You couldn't do it.
Couldn't.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it.
Try doing it, Raggedy Ann. You can't touch me. You're not man enough. I'll eat your on the line. Oh, anybody in here can't with this. This is the ultimate, man. You hoe. Come to say my that's for everybody. You come on, you're scared coward. You're not man enough to me. You can't last 2 minutes in my world. Look at you scared now, you hoe. Scared like a little white scared of the real man. I'll you till you love me.
Oh, my.
I'll F you till you love me.
Damn!
He never raped anyone.
I'll F you till you love me.
I'll F you too.
Your Honor, I never raped nobody.
When I get done F'ing you, I'm going to F the Henry Hudson Parkway.
I'm going to F you and all your male friends, and then we're gonna see who loves who.
Yeah.
I think he's
the ultimate.
He's gay, man. That's a gay. You don't even in your anger. You don't say
that to a guy?
I'm going to F you till you love me.
He sounds fruity.
Yeah. He
Maybe
does.
Jimmy Kimmel is onto something.
I think so.
I bet Evander Holyfield. Yeah, I bet the other guy just Lennox Lewis's foot, and now I'm gonna bite you.
Yeah,
your penis.
Come here. I'll beat up your penis and I'll bite it.
I'll beat up the Milky Way. Then I'll anally rape the moon.
I'm gonna beat up the Big Dipper.
I'm going to marry Jimmy Kimmel, and I'm going to run off with him. And then I'm going to F Terry and Howie from NFL pregame, right? Anally. And then they're going to love me. And then they're going to be my bitches. I'm going to marry Jimmy Kimmel, Terry, and Howie from Fox pregame.
I'm going to beat up Uranus. It's sending me messages through my telescope. I beat up my telescope.
The other night I was studying your anus through my telescope, and I'm going to rape it. I'm going to rape your ass.
I want to fly to Uranus, beat it up, and rape it.
Gently.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to you gentle and good till you love me, bitch.
I'm going to go to Niagara Falls on my honeymoon with Brad Pitt. Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lead you over a park bench and have sex with you.
I'm going to beat up all the Friends cast.
Yeah. First I'll do Jimmy gently, and then I'm going to really get him hard.
I'm going to F Jimmy Kimmel till he loves me.
I like that contractor who said he has to go into Mike's house every couple of months and patch up the drywall that Mike punches out.
He puts holes in concrete.
God. Yeah.
I'm going to beat up my house.
My house is yelling at me.
My house is talking to me, saying bad things.
I ain't gonna take that crap no more.
You'd be mad, too, if your house was talking to you.
You big bitch, White House.
I said, Walls, you looking at me again?
You crazy, Walls. Let me punch you.
What you looking at?
Hey.
I elbowed my wall. My banister to my stairway was screaming at me.
I want to beat up the house after the gamma rays hit me like Dr. Bruce Bannister.
Dr. Bruce Bannister.
Dominic Barber wants to weigh in.
Weigh in.
I'm going to give you a theory and facts that are never discussed on the air before.
Go ahead.
A theory. Okay.
Are you ready?
F you.
F you, you white bitch.
Yeah, white
You ready?
bitch.
Go ahead.
When Mike Tyson was young, the rumor is that before he fought, Gus D'Amato would make him perform sexually on him.
Oh, please.
Now, you're all going to laugh. I know.
I'm going to kill you, rip your head off.
Now, you're all going to laugh at this. The boys that went there were abused. This is a rumor in the fighting world.
Well, what rumor? What's good as a rumor?
Yeah,
well,
I mean, come on.
Rumor is you were abused as a boy.
And it would explain...
Yeah, you better have some evidence there, counselor.
Come on.
It would explain a lot of his oral fixation when he fights and gets angry, and his sexual comments. Because when Mike was young, he was abused, and now when he fights, it returns into the abused state. Ah.
I'm gonna.
shut up with
I'm
your
gonna.
Yeah,
no,
you
no,
said
no.
nothing.
Seriously, Robin.
I'm gonna beat up your Bentley.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight your Bentley, Dominic.
Robin, does it seem logical for you?
You have an oral fixation.
Yeah. You keep taking me out to dinner, I'm not going to be able to fit my...
Oh, please. Here we go.
Next time I see you in a hot tub on a cruise, I'm going to beat you up.
I'm gonna beat your fat ass, your fat white ass.
I'm going to beat you and your hot tub. Yeah.
Oh.
I want to beat up a bridge next.
I'm going to beat something up. I'm going to beat up a cruise ship. I'm going to beat up a cargo terminal or something. I'm going to beat up a port authority. I'm crazy. I'm going to beat up like a bus or something. You bring me anything. I'll beat up like some sort of like airplane hangar or something. Like a hangar at the airport. I just got to beat up a 747 or something.
You don't know what to beat up, do you?
I'm beating stuff up. I'm crazy. What happened? These gamma rays got into my brain, and I'm just beating stuff up. Put something in front of me. I'll beat it up.
Is the problem that your house is talking to you?
Yeah, my house again. Yeah, don't bring that up. That house got an ass kicking coming when I see it again. Keep me away from that house.
What if we took you, shackled you like King Kong,
Shackle me up.
sent you up to the moon in a rocket ship? Would you beat up the moon for
I'll beat
us?
up the moon if someone flashes a light at me and I get out them shackles. I get mad. I'll beat that moon right the hell up.
How funny would it be if we chained him up like King Kong and brought him out, and then he just like burst out of the chains when the light bulbs go off? It confuses him and scares him. And then he carries a white woman in his hand and climbs to the Empire State Building.
I'm gonna kill the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These airplanes, get them away from me.
Oh.
The only good thing about that story is then we get to shoot him down.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea what you make.
Really?
I have no idea.
I'm willing, you know what? I'm willing to tell you what I make, including appearances, with appearances.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care.
You want to say it here? You want to save it for...
This is with the DVD?
Everything. I'm talking about everything. Like stand-up.
I tell you what.
Stand-up, well, I've been lucky enough to sign a couple of development deals directly because of this show, and the movie deal, and all my stand-up appearances, and the salary here. I'd be willing to tell you what I make.
Do you want to tell it now, or do you want to we'll make it a cliffhanger?
I don't care. You tell me. Well, wherever you want me to say it.
And by the way,
I mean, now it's going to be. I'm talking about a K-Rock.
Can you separate?
Right.
Can you?
Right. Oh, right. You're not talking about your new deal.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not talking about my new.
If you could separate out what you get paid from K-Rock, that's the number I'm most interested in. And then that second number as well.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this: I make way more in other ventures than I do at K-Rock.
Right.
I more than.
Now, what about your new salary?
With the new salary, I got a very, very nice raise, I think.
Right.
And I'm insanely happy with what. Very generous over at the office.
Yeah, I don't even know what they paid you. I honestly don't.
You know, but again, with me, you got to factor in stand-up. You know,
Right.
I'll say that the last 4 years, I've made way more on other things than I did.
Than you did here.
Yes, exactly. Right. But it was when I got this job, I said to my agent, I said, God, it's a base salary. What I'm making at this place, you know.
Right.
It's less than a sitcom, but it's a base salary. You know, look at what I can do in other areas.
All right, you want to come clean now, or you want to wait?
It's up to you.
It's up to you. You want him to come clean now?
Well, just because he's coming clean doesn't mean I am.
That's such a tempting morsel you've laid out there.
All right, go ahead.
I mean, for you know, this is everything with stand-up.
Okay, let's see what you're making. If you want to say it, go ahead. Good luck getting a plumber.
Yeah, you're going to ruin your life.
Oh, go ahead. Let's hear it.
This year, I'll make, with everything, about $1.2 million.
Nice.
Now, so you're saying that would tell me that you make less than $600,000 as a K-Rock employee.
You're right.
I probably have you here I had you here at about 400. But, you know, the guy from...
So what... Is Gary far off that you get 400?
He's in the ballpark.
Yeah,
higher or lower?
He's in the ballpark. Higher.
Higher.
No, I mean it's higher what I get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not over $500,000, I would guess. It's somewhere between 4 and 5.
It's not.
4 or 5 at K-Rock, and then the rest already makes selling DVDs and working his butt off.
A lot of stand-up, man. A lot of stand-up. I'll say, as a stand-up comic, there's nothing better than this show on the planet Earth. Nothing. There's nothing like it on the planet.
Yeah, you see, now, You know what? You see, people probably thought you were making more.
I did.
People think I'm making more.
Well, even the people on the round table have. Where did they have Artie?
Let's see. Let's finish.
I think they had him around 2. No?
They had him at $2 million.
1 or 2?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, they had me up around 3.
I mean, I'm just pulling that out of some yeah, like Artie, the DVD, right? I mean, you know, like Jackie made a load of money selling that crap, those mugs and those stupid T-shirts, you know. Yeah. But he sold a lot of that stuff. So was Mike. What do you think?
I think that.
Tom's here.
No, I just came in to say, think about it. Think about if what Artie just said is true, and he spoke truthfully. Think about what they're just about to reference, which is the money that Jackie walked away from.
That's right.
5 years ago.
That's right.
For 5 years.
For 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years ago, what the money would have been times 5.
Because
Artie's thanking God we're leaving and going somewhere else.
Just for perspective,
right.
I won't say how much it was, but Jackie was going to get paid significantly more.
That's right.
As a base salary.
I remember what you told me. The only salary I ever knew was Jackie's because Tom finally came to me and said, I just want you to know what I offered Jackie. And I said, okay, what is it? And then he told me, and I fell down on the floor. And I go, who the hell would walk away from that? And do you know how hard it is to make money on radio? I mean, there's no job that will pay him that.
Oh, forget
it. To be, to do what he's doing. There's just, I don't even know if he could go to Hollywood and make that.
So if Artie's been able to almost, let's say ballpark, because we're going to say the exact number, but almost triple what he, his, or what he makes here plus double that again.
Imagine what Jackie was
total.
doing.
Yeah, and Jackie had all the outside
right.
stuff.
And it just, again, it makes it, I mean, and I'm not taking a shot at Jackie.
Wait till you ought to come in here when Jackie comes on the show.
Only if I'm invited.
Absolutely.
I don't
that one you're allowed.
Unless I'm invited.
You walk in anyway. All right, let's get back to this very interesting conversation from Superfan Roundtable. Which is, this is about 1/10 of what they discussed.
Right.
It's amazing.
I was glued.
Artie makes minimum $1.5 million a year, and I think he deserves it too.
No, I don't think he makes that much.
No,
he's too new for that.
Lori.
Hold on, Kevin, you weigh in.
$750,000, and that's probably with everything. And he has the option, or he has
these guys are pretty right on there.
Yeah. The ability to plug his gigs, and that makes extra money for him.
Okay, now we talked about everybody who's on air. Let's segue into the guys who are behind the scenes and run the show.
I think they're all getting.
Me too.
Let's start with the first one. Gary Delabate, producer of the show for a very long time. How much do you think Gary's making? Lori, I'm going to start with you again.
I don't think it's a lot because he's doing these appearances he's always saying about. I'm going to go with $500,000.
Ralph, what do you think?
I don't think it's that much.
Really?
I think I would say he's probably making at least $100,000 a year. And then all those dumb appearances, he's probably making another $500,000 or something.
Puts what do you say, $5,000 away for his kids a month or something for college?
Gary's doing well, but I don't think he's even close to $1 million.
I think you guys are low. Kevin, what do you think?
I tend to think it's low too, but I don't think it's $100,000. I think it's maybe $250,000 to $500,000, which is a lot for a producer, but he's been there too. And he contributes to it.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. $250,000 to $500,000. Look, you know how much money? I mean, I know they're tight. You know what I mean? But you know how much money this company has? They can turn around and go.
But they're tight. They're tight about it. They don't see it like that.
Boy, this is some compelling radio.
That's great.
I'm watching Gary's face.
Yeah, no, because
I was too.
Gary's in real pain.
They're mostly high, except for Ralph's really low.
Right.
That's what I could say. They're all high.
You mean literally high?
They got to be high to be saying these.
Can I ask you a question? This is one of the questions I get asked by fans all the time, starting about here and now on our way to.
Right.
When you say that you don't know what any of us make,
that's right.
People always are under the impression that
I pay you,
or that you decide. In other words, say it's $100 million a year. If it's $100 million a year, you don't decide what everybody gets.
Never. In fact, Robin and Fred have the same agent I do, and I never bring it up. I don't ever bring it up or say anything. I say, just let me know if there's a problem, because all these people matter to me, and I want to make sure they're treated right. And please appeal to the company to let them understand that they're important to the show the same way I'm important to the show. And that's it. That's my speech. And the only time I ever found out a salary was the Jackie thing, because Tom came to me and said, I just want you to know what I offered him, because the negotiation was over.
Right. It was done.
That was it. And I said, what'd you offer him? And he's told me, and I fell down. I fell down. Because, quite frankly, I thought he was pretty well competent.
And you know what? I'll tell you, the real number that hits you, it's not what Jackie turned down a year because it was a rolling thing.
Right.
If you say what Jackie turned down for 5 years, that's a number that just knocks you over.
Right, yeah, you will not get up.
If I was, I'll say this. This is how good this show is to a stand-up comic. If I was willing to work, say, 90% of the weekends a year, I could triple that figure.
Right.
Wow.
You know, I mean, but it's just I'd drop dead.
It would kill you, but you'd be very wealthy as a dead man.
Yes, Dominic.
If you take $2 for every dollar Jackie would have gotten, $2 from other appearances, take the new contract where he's going, it's over $20 million he actually walked away from adding it up. Think about it.
Yeah, I am
Whatever
thinking about
you just said.
Whatever you said, I'm thinking about.
$2 for
I would
every
think about it if I could understand your garbled way of speech.
$2 for every dollar.
Every $2 for every dollar, or stay for 2 for 1.
Plus the serious contract he would have got, it is $20 million easily. And ask everyone there, figure it out. It's because if he's saying he can get $2 for every dollar in either. He was selling everything. There's Jackie mugs. There's Jackie T-shirts.
Jackie's liver.
Yeah, the only thing, I mean, the only thing I sell is a DVD. I don't have any other stuff.
Yeah, you got that from me.
Mr. Junior.
Artie, do you think $2 for every dollar you get in salary you can make on the outside?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Without question.
I still don't understand what he's saying.
Steak for 2 for 1.
In other words, double it.
All I know is Gary looks in real pain.
I'm still thinking about it.
He's still thinking about it.
He's arguing with the people in the round table.
Come on.
I'm sorry, but Dominic's actually low.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's actually he'd be on the low side.
You're counting all the plugs and all that.
I'm just counting, taking all the extra income because Dominic's saying...
He's saying $2 for every dollar is more than $20 million.
And if you did that number...
It was Jackie walked away from $7 billion.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, more than you.
Yeah. How did he get all that? $20 million.
Let me ask you something.
Is it the Jackie show or the Howard show?
The Joe Trump. This was always a rumor I heard. And Tom, is this true or not? I mean, you guys would know. Did Jackie have in his deal an 8 a.m. plug every day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now listen. As a stand-up comic, I would take that rather than a couple $100,000 extra.
And let me tell you something about that plug. He could promote. He could go to a comedy store, right, Tom, and say, hey, I have a plug.
Right.
You guys want to get plugged, or you want to plug other comedians?
That's right.
He could use it any way he wanted.
And I got to tell you, Jackie was much more intricate than you think. It was an 8 a.m. plug contractually, but Jackie laid them all out for the week. There was the 7:30 plug, the 7:45 plug, the 8 o'clock.
He danced around.
He rotated. When I missed one, like if I was in the middle of something, I ignored his plug. I don't want to mess up the flow of the show, but I put my plug up. And that's when I said, what am I doing with this?
Because he had to make sure he licked those fingers to pull it out.
Yeah.
There were two guaranteed plugs already.
Wow.
Middle of the show and end of the show.
And Howard, and both had to be voiced by Howard.
What was I thinking?
Wow.
Right.
Wow. That's an amazing...
Stuttering John and I used to sit around and say, if we could get one of those a week, one middle of the show plug a week, we'd never have, we'd be rich.
Well, he had a good deal. No doubt about it. Your wife's on the phone. Yes, Penelope.
Hello?
Yep.
That's her.
Tom's wife. Yes.
Howard?
Yes, Penelope.
Good
Hi.
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Robin. Hi, Tom.
Hi, honey.
Hi, what's going on?
You called.
I called because, listen, this is very appropriate. One of my favorite moments on the Howard Stern show was when Howard used to call you Tom Chiapasano.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep.
And he was railing about something, and it was in the early days when he would call the house in the morning. And so one morning he got Tim on the phone, and Tim had to be like 10 or 11, maybe 12 years old. And so Howard starts in on Tim. Tim, does your father pay you an allowance? How much allowance do you get? Like, how much a week does your father give you to spend just exactly the way you want? And Tim unknowingly said, well, I don't get an allowance.
And we laughed.
No, you said, well, how do you get your money? And my poor son was in the middle of some class project and said, well, I collect bottles and cans.
Oh, Jesus. That poor kid couldn't get in it.
So my poor baby, everybody's feeling really sorry because this cheap man is making him go out into the street and collect these bottles and cans.
In an orange jumpsuit.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Penelope. That's a great memory.
He also jacked cars at 15.
Yes, Ralph. By the way, congratulations on Superfan Roundtable.
Yeah. Thank you. It was fun.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think that looking back and listening to you replay, I think I really got caught up in the moment. We're in the new place and, we're having a roundtable talking about you. And, I'm thinking how important everything is, but you forget radio gives you no respect.
That's right. These are salaries for radio. And let me tell you, one of the greatest accomplishments I think I've had in radio, with, and then Fred and Robin can really attest to this because they go back 20 years.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That to see anybody make any money.
Yeah,
in
a lot of guys are making decent, more than decent livings.
Well, now you got a rock star replacing me on the radio. I mean, it was unheard of. When I got into radio, there was nobody making any money.
Imagine his starting salary. Nobody ever even got that.
I mean, first of all,
we're all sitting there thinking what people on the show should be making.
Yeah, nobody had negotiating in radio is tough because radio is a mom and pop business, and by that I mean. It's always,
it was a local guy who owned a station.
And he sold $60. Commercials cost $60 a spot. And by the time you paid the commission to the sales guy and everything, you made very little money, no matter how big a star you were.
Right.
I mean, in Washington, D.C., I was the #1 morning man. I took the ratings and... What's the word for 8 times the ratings? I octupled the ratings. Octupled the ratings, taking them to #1 in, I think, in 2 books. Robin, myself, and Fred.
Forget it. Like the Babe Ruth hitting all those home runs.
And I believe my salary was $40,000 a year. And
it actually might have been less.
But Howard,
I think it was 40.
Around there,
It was around there, yeah. No, you're right.
I think the reason it was because I remember there was a really bitter moment with
Golf.
Yeah.
And we were all sitting in the office, and for some reason he decided at one moment to blurt out your salary, and it upset you, and you left the room, which I don't blame you, because he had no business doing that.
Yeah.
But I think he said $35,000.
Yeah, it might have been that.
You might have gone there for that. Yeah. And then there was some kind of an adjustment midstream, but he never wanted to negotiate a decent contract.
You know what? As long as we're all about revelations, I've never told you this because I don't want to get somebody in trouble, but I'll tell you something. This is something that I never told you. I feel guilty about not telling you this.
What's this?
I was called to possibly replace you.
Where?
As a morning guy.
Wait, you mean on this show?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding?
Well, in Philadelphia.
Really?
Yeah.
How weird was that?
It was my manager called me one day and said, he said, Art, they called and there was no formal offer, but they said, would Artie be interested possibly in being the new morning guy in a couple of major markets?
Wow.
Really?
Wow, that is the sleaziest friggin' move I've ever heard.
And I didn't.
Wow.
I said to him, I'm not even going to think twice about that.
God.
I said immediately say
how
no.
shocking is that? How sleazy
that
is
that?
Is
shocking.
But
you mean this is recent?
Yeah, sure. This was over the summer.
That would have been
This was in July.
Unbelievable.
Would that have been interesting?
Well, I can tell you one more.
Yeah. You got approached too?
Informally.
Yeah.
But was just asked about the possibility, like just by somebody in programming, about myself and Artie being the nucleus of a show in one of the top 5 cities.
Unbelievable.
One of the top 5 cities in North.
Unbelievable.
And I said,
want to know
something? You know what? Not even you couldn't even afford.
You know what? You know what this reminds me of? When I got fired from NBC, and we were out the door, and NBC kept Fred around, and Fred said to me, "What do I do here?" I said, "Fred, look, we don't have jobs. You got to make a living.
Right.
You might as well stay at NBC and make some money because the guy."
And it was so uncomfortable.
Well. While they were there...
What did Fred do there?
So wait, he had his own show with Al Rosenberg.
And me.
And Gary in the afternoons.
The 3 of us.
So I called the guys and I said, look, I'm going to try and get a new job somewhere and bring you with me. And Fred said to me, look, they've offered me a job. And Fred was considering it. And I said to Fred...
I was considering it only because I was feeling desperate, and they were, like, putting such pressure.
I'm sure they were putting pressure because he's in-house.
So I said to Fred, I'm begging you. I don't have a job for you yet, but I'll come up with something. And I didn't feel comfortable even saying this. I said, if you take a job at NBC and do your own show, they're going to get rid of you in 6 months. And I said, not because you're not talented. I said, that station is going down. These guys don't have a clue what they're doing. They don't understand the chemistry. They don't understand anything we're up to. I said, please, consider it. And I don't have a thing to offer you, but the second I get it, I will make sure that you come over with us.
You want something? I have to say one thing right now. Thanks to K-Rock. Because it was I was getting really depressed about it. I know.
Well, you remember Fred was in the...
Well, they were pressuring Fred to sign the contract. But seriously, listen, I mean, Artie or Fred or Gary or anyone who'd want to go do their own show, I would say do it. But I think it's almost like on Survivor when they break up their tribe. The tribe, it's crazy. They wanted what they'd want to do is pick us off one by one.
And I'll tell you what, they threw a crazy number out. Crazy.
What was the number they
made an offer?
Go ahead.
I don't know.
You're coming clean.
Come on.
Offer the number.
What do you care?
What's the number?
There was no offer. They threw out. My manager digging before he talked to me. So what are we talking about here? And the guy said maybe around $5 million.
Wow.
A year? I don't know.
Or a $5 million contract.
I don't know.
I might have taken.
He said 5 to 10. He said 5 to 10 million bucks.
I might have taken.
Well, I was getting ready to be hurt because you told Fred not to take the job.
So,
and remember when we left Washington?
Right.
And I got a job offer.
Right.
And I told you about the job offer. And you looked at me and said, Robin, you got to take that.
No, that was a whole different situation.
What I said that
I had a job. That's a different situation. I had a job at NBC. I was signed.
Right.
And they had promised me I could bring Robin, and then they bailed on me. After that Douglas Kiker piece.
Right.
Big time. So Robin came to me and said, I have a job. I said, Robin, you got to take the job. I've got a job, and they won't hire you. But I will do everything I can to get you a job offer there.
How long were you on the air without Robin?
Way too long.
2 months? About a month.
Was it a month? It seemed like a year.
We were apart for a long time, but you didn't start at NBC for a long time after you left Washington.
Every day I'd beg them. I'd go in there every day. Come on, you can hire Robin. And Robin was
But I would have been tied up in a 5-year contract if I had taken your advice.
Oh, you mean with DC 101?
Yeah.
Well, I felt guilty because I had promised you a job at NBC, and I was like, they said they will not hire you.
It didn't look good.
Because they wanted me to quit.
Right, wow.
Right, it didn't look like you were even going to have a job.
No, they wanted me.
Well, that was the sad thing. Is Robin, they won't even talk to me.
They won't. They wanted me to quit.
Hey, Artie, if they made a solid offer for between $5 to $10 million a year, would you have jumped?
No.
And I know why.
I honestly would. I'll tell you why. Because here's the thing.
A year, $5 to $10 million a year.
They didn't specify what it was. They said it's a $5 to $10 million possible offer, what it would be. And
wow.
I immediately said,
can you imagine that? That's how
I said, first of all, listen.
That's how important the F you to me is. No offense.
Right.
No offense. I think you'd be a great morning man.
No, I agree with you,
but
man.
It's so important for them to F me over that they would just open up the piggy bank for anyone.
Howard, listen to me.
And you worked so hard to elevate this medium to get to the point, and then they just throw money at Artie. No offense.
You don't have to be nice about it. I said, listen, guys, I sit next to this guy every morning. I don't think I could do that. It's different what I do and what he does. Pacing a show, running a show. Like, that's really not showing any respect for what he does.
Well, I want to say something. I am really thrilled you're coming with me to the new place. I love and adore you.
Sure, no.
And I admire your decision because a lot of people would have just taken the money and said, screw it. And I'm going to tell you something, man. That shows incredible loyalty to me.
Oh, sure.
And I'm going to tell you something. That is really moving to me more than anything you could ever say.
Well, listen, I sat on this a long time. I don't want to ever, because that's not why I'm telling you this, but I feel guilty not telling you because I think
you could tell me anything.
But it was, the other thing I said to my manager was, and not to get sappy, I said, Howard has become a friend of mine, man. I said, I could never do that to the guy. Even if I thought for 1 second I could possibly compete with him, I could never do it to him. I wouldn't be able to look anybody in the face.
Regardless of that, I got to tell you something. It takes a strong man to turn that kind of money. But I'm going to tell you something, and I'm not saying this selfishly. I think you made the right move.
No, of course I did.
I think we're bound for greatness in another way.
I would have been off in 3. I think I would have sucked.
You would have burnt out, too.
You would have never seen $5 million.
But I owe you a car.
Succumbed from the pressure.
No, but Howard, Artie would have never seen $5 million. After 6 months, they'd have bailed on him.
Well, if he had a solid contract.
They would have had to pay.
I think they give him at least a year before they pull the
And you know what? And the bottom line is, it's all like, why are they trying so hard just to screw me over? Like, even like Tom saying, I just offered him, we'll buy out the entire last day. We'll buy the entire last day of commercial spots. I said, if there's a problem with me, you know, whatever, let them buy the whole thing out at a premium. And he goes, no. And I go, why not? You sell to other satellite companies. Why? Isn't it because it's me and everyone's just vindictive against me?
Going, yeah.
And he said, no, that's not it. But what else would be the reason?
It so clearly is, because it's not a good business decision to F with you like this.
But what is a good business reason for turning down,
Hey, Gary.
you know,
so,
like double the rate?
Gary, what was your offer? Like, was it like sick, crazy?
You know what? It never got into money. Although money was insinuated.
Right.
Really? What was the insinuation?
Well,
who made the approach?
That I'd rather not say.
Okay.
I'd rather not say. I would tell you that off the air.
I would say it was Tom.
No. And I would tell you that off the air.
It was Chuck Roast.
It was about a week or two. You know, and the funny thing was about a week.
Fred's pissed he didn't get approached, and so is Robin.
Yeah, really? What are we?
Well, they figured there was no way they were going to get you guys.
They had to figure that.
That would just be plain stupid.
That would just be ridiculous.
I got a call.
It was about 2 or 3 weeks after you made the announcement when you had said, you know, I hope everybody comes with me, but certainly nobody had made me any. I didn't have a formal offer.
Right.
And somebody called me and said, you know, how would you feel about coming? I almost said coming to a certain area and doing the show. And I'm like, well, what would I do? And they go, well, you and Artie.
What area? Philly?
Way far west. Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Yeah. How would you feel about coming to L.A.?
So was Bob Moore.
It wasn't. How would you feel about coming to
Jack Silver.
It could have been.
Okay. Go ahead.
But he was feeling it.
Right. He was working for someone.
How would you feel maybe you and Artie would be like the nucleus of something, or maybe it's the you and Artie show? And first of all, I don't think the Gary and Artie show has any interest to anyone. And I said, you know...
Oh, I'd be interested.
Yeah, well, on a whole other level. And I said, you know what? I said, I've already spoken to Howard. I said, I don't have a deal, but I know I'm going over there, and I know this is what I want to do. And
I said to my manager, the analogy I used is, I said, Pete, I'd rather be a player on the Yankees than the captain of the Devil Rays. That's what I said to him. And I said, before I did that to Howard or anybody, I'd go back to the world of sitcoms. Why would I do...
Well, bro, let me
mean?
tell you something.
What would I do?
I am moved by what both you and Gary are telling me, and I'll tell you another thing. We're going to have some real fun.
Oh, sure. I'm incredibly thrilled. And I didn't say it because, you know, I sat on this a long time. But now we're coming towards the end, and I'm feeling like...
I'll tell you another thing. This fuels me beyond what you could even imagine. You don't understand the fire that is ignited in me right now and the thoughts that go on. And I am going to tell you something. I am going to reinvent everything.
Right.
Based on this conversation.
Including Artie Lange.
No, I mean, you already reinvented
Arthur.
You already reinvented audio.
By the way, Howard, I just want to say that my dinner this evening with Bob Moore and Jack Silver should be very comfortable.
And Bobby, my good friend Bob Moore.
Well, again, he didn't make the call.
Look what happens from the Superfan Roundtable.
Superfan Roundtable, I got to take my radio and throw it out the window. Between Superfan Roundtable and that H100 News.
It drives me crazy.
Do you listen to it every night?
I love it. I got to say one thing. Ralph, you're hired. You can be my agent.
Yeah, Ralph.
Right.
Everybody likes you.
I want to pull a Terrell Owens.
Hey, Howard, can I just tell you one more story about what it's like to...
Superfan Roundtable is the best show ever.
Just a real quick story about what it's like to make money in radio.
Look what it sparked here.
Hey, Howard, let me ask you a quick question. Are people, are they making money, like a ton of money, like comparing TV to radio? Are they just cheap, or are they socking it away, or they don't really have, like, TV money? Like Artie was making $50,000.
No, TV money is way different. You're talking about a whole different medium. You're talking about what sponsors will pay. It's a whole different thing.
They'll throw away money on nothing.
The heyday of this show, we were getting, and this show has generated billions for this company. Right. Don't be fooled by any press release. That there were times that we were getting, at the height, $30,000 a minute.
Unheard of. That now they're getting
on radio.
Into television territory for spots.
I'll tell you this. The world of television is a whole different pay scale. Talk about guys who do 13, 20-week shows. They make millions and millions of dollars.
Well, Artie can tell you.
Here they don't make that kind of money. In fact, it is shocking to me how they're willing to open up the pocketbooks just to screw with me.
Well, look how they've... I mean, not even people on the show, but, these other people they're trying to dig up to replace you, they're offering them a ton of money.
Oh, it's unheard of. Guys who have never even proven themselves getting all kinds of money.
When I left the Norm Show, my manager said, the most insane thing's about to happen to you. You're going to become like a rock star. You're going to be insanely more famous, and you're going to take a 50% pay cut.
Right.
I mean,
watch what happens.
But, obviously for me as a comic, it's a base salary.
But you're doing better at the new place, right? I mean, you're making good money.
Absolutely,
Yeah, okay,
Howard. It's
good.
fantastic.
Good.
And with the money I made in stand-up, I made more than I made in the Norm show here. I mean, it was, again, a base salary, you know?
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, just to give you an idea of how little money there is in radio, when I was working for you at NBC, I was making $7,500 a year, right?
Let me ask you something. Why would they pay you the money?
But they've never been able to give him here.
Like, why didn't they reward you while you were here with that kind of money?
So
if you're that good.
I'm going to say, because this is how it all starts. This is the story. This is how it all starts.
You know what this is? If Howard likes the guy, he must be good.
Right.
Right.
And I got to tell you, I do have to say that for a long time in this company, they banked on the goodwill of us to you. You know, almost the knowledge that we love the show so much we won't walk away.
Right.
And over the years,
That's been a bargaining
It's probably hurt me, but it's still been worth it.
Right.
But so I was making $7,500 a year. As soon as they fired you from NBC, they immediately bumped me up to $10,000.
Yeah.
As soon as Fred left, they bumped me up to $12,000. Right.
Right.
So when I came over for my first meeting with Tom, I'll never forget. I was so stupid and young and didn't know what to say and that kind of negotiating what not to say. So Tom says, you know, well, what are you looking for? And I said, listen, I'm making $12,000 a year.
Big mistake.
And I don't have any benefits. I said, what I would like is some medical benefits, and I would love to make $20,000 a year. Tom pulled that calculator out, and he calculated that the company paying my benefits equaled $4,000 a year, so he's going to give me $16,000 in benefits. And that's when I started.
So if they piss on you so bad, then why all of a sudden are they opening up the bankroll when I'm leaving?
But that's always the offer I got from DC 101 was mind-blowing at the time.
Right, I remember that.
Mind-blowing.
Robin and I signed with NBC. All of a sudden, they approached Robin for huge money. I forget how much it was.
It was
it like
it
200?
was a $500,000 contract for a kid who was 28 years old,
right,
just starting in radio.
And they could have signed me for half of that. That's all I was looking for. And they wouldn't do it. But all of a sudden, when I was leaving, they were willing to sign Robin for all that.
But, you know, Howard, even the tiny little bits of money they gave me at NBC, like, as soon as you were gone, there was like, he's been with Howard. He must know something. Let's keep him around.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
No, it's all about your validation. Absolutely. They're saying, oh, Howard thinks this guy's good, so maybe the fans will, anything. You know, right.
But they weren't paying us that when we were working.
Wait, here's a sad story. With everything that's going on, here's a guy who got offered nothing.
I got a revelation.
Go ahead.
I was
My offer?
$50.
Wait, Scott the engineer.
Through the grapevine I heard, don't let the door hit you in the ass. Have a good time.
What? Say that again? What do you
Don't let the door hit you in the ass.
So, in other words,
get the hell out.
I mean, they want to get rid of you.
You're gone.
They were going to throw him out.
Right.
Yeah, well, don't
once
worry.
we were gone.
You know, that came up last night. Is Scott going over?
Yes, of course.
Oh, good. You know,
Scott is. You see, that's another crucial error they're making here. Whether Scott going with me. Scott is one of the best engineers.
He's valuable.
This guy gets it. When you come up with a bit and you hand it to him, he gets it done.
He's the only engineer here capable of doing it.
And they don't have engineers over there, really.
There's some fine engineers here, but Scott's my ace in the hole.
Scott knows the show better than anyone.
And you can just hand him something.
Right.
He knows what to do.
You know what I wanted to say yesterday before? I mean, I couldn't do a good as job as I do without you guys giving me the material that
that's
you create.
absolutely
I mean,
true.
You're the brains.
Duh. I mean,
somebody's got to put it on tape.
Yeah, right. It's the end of the show. We're being nice.
Don't get carried away.
The greatest thing about the greatest talent that Scott has, Fred and I talked about this, that would be so hard to get with a new guy is, I got a piece of tape. Scott, I need to pull like the meat of this tape. I'm really busy with the guest down the hall. You know what to do.
It's like shorthand now.
Right.
Yeah. And that's hard to find in a new person.
Wow. Well, a lot of revelations made, and these are not the revelations that we're saving.
No.
I can't see how you can beat Artie's today.
Artie threw out like 3,
I'll
think.
tell you what.
I lost count.
I'll tell you what. I can beat Artie's.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Oh, boy.
I'm sure you can.
That was pretty big.
And I will. I already told Will my revelation.
You know what, Artie? I don't know what you revealed, but you could have revealed that and gotten off the hook.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to hurt yourself.
You gave it
We talked about that, too, what we thought everybody's revelation was.
No, I mean...
Artie told Sal his revelation. Yeah, I heard that part. By the way, I heard that part of Roundtable Discussion, Superfan Roundtable. Yeah, my revelation isn't that I've had gay sex. By the way.
No, I didn't tell Sal my revelation.
Sal told Artie.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't matter. It's okay.
Hey, Bonghead Eric is saying this conversation's boring.
Oh,
what?
Wow, I thought we were doing good radio
Why don't
here.
you take some methamphetamine?
What's up with him?
No, Sal. Artie told Sal his revelation.
Artie told Sal?
Because Sal told me, and it was what they said.
Oh, did Artie?
Artie,
I forget.
Jeez, I thought this was good radio. I see the one negative and I get really bummed out.
Artie just has 100 revelations. He's a very treasure.
How did Will know Sal wasn't just guessing?
Right.
Will might just revealed it.
Hey, Dennis.
Hey, Howard.
Is this boring?
Well, let me tell you something. I'm a doctor. I am not currently treating patients because I am standing by the radio listening to what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
Absolutely stellar. First off, Artie, you are the effing man. I mean, that's unbelievable. I was actually, I mean, I was poised like I was ready to start a race when he was talking about whether or not he was going to, reveal that information.
Hey, Bonghead, wait a second. Bonghead, how is this boring to you?
I didn't say it was boring. What I said to the intern was that you guys are getting all mushy with each other. And it's almost like making me want to cry. I haven't laughed in like 10 minutes.
Because I got a note here that says, Bonghead Eric, this conversation is so boring. And I went, oh, man, I thought we were really getting down to it.
We were nailing it.
No, it's interesting. I like when you reveal stuff like that, like especially the money stuff.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, it's not even about laughing right now. It's a show that is actually defined. I mean, part of the warped person that I am, even though people rely on me as a doctor every day, is a consequence of being 14 years old and my mother slapping my hand off the radio while I was twisting the dial to AM to listen to you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're learning things about you that you and the staff. I mean, and Artie. Screw anybody that says Artie isn't the best addition to the show.
Artie's a great addition. He really is.
Absolutely.
Very happy with our team. And by the way, I'm very happy our team is intact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm psyched about that, too.
Wow, I didn't know we were under attack like that.
And by the way, I'm going to end this conversation by saying thank you, Don Buckwell, for changing my life.
All right,
Can I ask you something? One last honest question, because I've been milling about this. Are you mad that I didn't tell you that for a couple of months?
No, it's your prerogative. In fact, I'm sure in some way you thought you were protecting me.
Oh, yeah. I felt guilty. I felt dirty even knowing about it. Like, I lost sleep over it.
You shouldn't even know about your own offer.
No, I know.
But look at me, man. Look at me. You could tell me anything.
I know.
I think you're learning that, right?
Of course I am.
I don't. That's. I don't know. People think that I'm like insane. That they can't tell me anything.
When I first got here, of course, it was a different story. But in the last 4 years, I call you a friend of mine.
Yeah, I hope so.
Absolutely.
Hey, I can tell you for a fact that you can even call him with things that. Like me, going to him and saying, look at this contract they just offered me.
Right.
I showed him the whole thing. He would advise me about me, not about me and him.
I got a question for Artie that could open up an odd can of worms for us. The guy that made the offer to you, is he now working for us at our new place?
And see, I don't want to get it.
So it must be Tim.
This is why I did. This is why.
But you know
Tim make the offer?
But you know that Tim.
There had to be a gun to his head.
Oh, please. You know. In fact, I mean, Tim will never ever reveal to me whatever he learned when he was a program guy here.
Right.
I mean that, and I respect that about him.
Right.
But I know that Tim ain't calling the shots.
Right.
Tim is such a great guy, and that's the one reason I didn't tell you, was because I said, God, especially after you hired him.
I wouldn't have been mad at Tim.
Yeah, I mean, he's an amazing guy, and he's great at what he does.
Tim ain't authorized to offer those kind of money dollars without
that kind of. There wasn't. Let me explain. There wasn't an offer. It was a discussion. It was no offer.
We'll take a break. We'll be back right after these words.